Cappy. What it is Foss and Chris Fernandez. We're laying down the law. We are going along for the ride here on Radio Row, Super Bowl 58, Chris. And, man, what a ride it has been to date.
Yes, it has. A lot of action today, a lot of action yesterday. Today's going to be a good one.
We got a treat for the folks back home in El Paso. We bring a gentleman who was an All-American at Michigan. So he's riding with the reigning national champions in college football, and he's also first-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Rams. We have him on our show because he's also an attorney at law, so laying down the law fits him just fine. He's our defensive captain, the one and only Mel Owens. Mel, hey, man, welcome back to Radio Row.
It's the best. It's absolutely the best, especially with you guys.
Well, we appreciate that.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's just really, really. People could see it; they have no idea. But wow, this is good. And you guys are veterans too. And thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
We enjoy having you. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, I love being with you guys. Yeah.
So we talked to you about your initial draft day night and the fanfare or the lack thereof in the early 80s. The NFL has done a ridiculously great job in now kind of being the hype machine and how it is.
All right. Look, I just came from the Detroit booth.
Okay.
And we know what's happening in Detroit in April.
Right.
It's the draft.
Right.
So they have the official welcoming or the draft people.
Right.
I just was talking to them. And it's going to be unbelievable in Detroit, the draft.
And a lot of people, they don't recognize that there's a revitalization in Detroit, not just on the team.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
Revitalizing it.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise everybody would be coming down there. I'm from Detroit, number one.
Right.
Right in the city.
Right.
And my friend now lives there, right down near Ford Field, and they've done an amazing job at putting that place back together. I mean, it's like it looks like when San Francisco was good.
Right.
I mean, it's like that now.
Really?
We are definitely looking forward to heading up that way.
It's good stuff.
So we're going to go from the first-round pick for the Rams in 81 to the first-round pick of the St. Louis Cardinals in 1979. Wow. This gentleman here.
Well, we played against each other.
I know. Two-time Super Bowl champ, Rookie of the Year, a guy that gave me his phone number when I was a camp counselor when he was one of the pros with my cousin Everson Walls. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best big backs, one of the best.
Oh, he's big. I mean, back then, no even.
But not only, should I say, for short yardage purposes, he can run away from you.
No, real deal.
From the U. The U.
Yeah,
that's right.
Otis, my man, O.J. Anderson. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, this guy next to me, man.
Yeah?
He no slouch.
Battles, huh? The Rams and the Cardinals?
Oh, he get it working.
Well, we played those two teams, even though they were out of our conference, our division.
The division, yeah.
We played them more often than not. We played like New York in a stretch of like 3-4 years, like 8-9 times.
Yeah.
So I played them in the playoffs.
Yep.
We'd get them, they'd get us. We always play them in regular season. So we play them at least 2 times a year. And I got to tackle this dude all the time, right?
Well, I was trying to avoid you. That's what it was.
Who's the big time? Mowat?
Zeke Mowat?
Yeah.
Tight end.
Yeah, him. And they had Bavaro.
Bavaro, yeah.
Got to wrestle with those dudes. Then you got to go to OJ and get him.
Yeah, wow.
Tough duty.
It's a long day.
Sounds like it.
OJ, it's so good to see you.
Thank you.
I want the listeners to know that you were very kind to me as a young man and very supportive. A lot of positive words, and they've worked. So I appreciate you. Now I'd like to take some words to say to the masses, this gentleman should be in Canton. He should be 3-something, 400. He could be the 400th bust in the bust room. You've earned it. you've done right. You know, I thought it was just bias against Cowboys and Raiders, but somehow now
And Rams.
and now a two-time Super Bowl champion and a man who's led his team with the Cardinals and with the Giants in Classic. I talk to Mark Collins all the time, and he talks about my cousin, and then what a great running back you were and still are. Let me ask you this, because you hear this all the time, OJ. Well, we're devaluing the running back.
But I don't know what that means.
Thank you.
I've been
Silliness.
That's like this new thing with football analytics. What the heck that come from? People just come up with things just to come up with stuff. I guess they try to be different, or they just try to
Or be relevant.
I'll make themselves relevant. Yeah. So I'm still confused with that one. That I don't know what that is.
Thank you.
Well, let me.
Maybe you can.
I'm a defensive guy, so let me tell you what I think. When what was the rush end for Kansas City back in the day, who died in the car accident?
Derek Thomas.
Okay.
Derek, yeah.
So when he came in the game, he changed the game, right? So the tackles were no longer big dudes. They had to be like very athletic guys. So that position changed, that offensive tackle.
Okay.
Then they got bigger dudes stop the run, right? So it changes. We had Eric Dickerson when I played.
Yep.
And so if you got a dude like that, or OJ,
right.
Anderson, you're going to use him. Now, it might have changed some because the rules changed, but my point is it's going to come back.
It has to.
It's going to come back because they're running.
You know what? You say that, but if you think where the league is going, I mean, first of all, they created the league to the point where fullbacks are no longer needed on the roster anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that many teams.
You can't block below the waist.
No. So, a lot of things that we endured during the era we played in,
right.
And they're trying to make football more exciting, which they have done because of the quarterback situation and the wide receivers. Like every team always line up 5 wides. I mean, that seems to be the norm. 5 wides and just make it work. And to me, that's taking the running game totally out of the business. It's no more about the running game. And if you were to put this back there in the era which we played in, the quarterback that we had playing with us, records would nowhere be near broken as they are now because of what they're doing with this.
Marino would have put 10,000.
Right.
No,
What about that? What about Falk over there with San Diego back in the day?
They'd put 10, 12,000 per season.
Right.
They could throw it, right? And Marino and those dudes.
Close.
Here's the thing that I always hearken back to. We're up by 2. I get O.J. Anderson, I can run the clock out, and you will never touch the ball.
Not supposed to.
I could throw a couple of passes that get incomplete, and we saw people bounce it off, and then people intercept it, or it bounces off the defensive guy, and somebody scores a touchdown. Your percentages of understanding what the outcome is going to be is now messed up. When I could turn, block, do 3-point and some change a carry, I got you.
Dude, you talk about analytics again. That's all you talking about. That's all you were talking about. Somehow somebody came up with the idea that we're going to do it, which we do anyway when we break down films all the time. We know based on down, distance, position on the field, what defensive front you're going to be in, what secondary coverage they're going to be in, whether or not they blitzing or not blitzing. You know this because you have put it in the computer analytically, put it in the computer, and now you know what's going on. So all of a sudden, they took what we've been doing all our life and stuff and said, oh, we're going to make this a big thing now. So we're going to say on 4th down, no more punting. We're going to go for it.
Well, and that's a good point. But at some point during the game, you have to have a feel for it.
Yes.
Right? And you're looking at it, and I'm sitting there watching it with my son. I had delayed it. And I go, oh, you got to kick the field goal. It's Detroit, right? I kick the field
Detroit.
Goal.
Oh, wow.
And he starts laughing. He goes, can I tell you? I go, no, don't tell me, because he already knew the end of the game. And then at the end, he goes, they did the opposite of what you said. And they would have changed the whole game by
Absolutely.
Yes. They'd have changed the whole game.
No, the whole year, if you look at this whole analytics craziness, it would have been a lot different outcome of a lot of games.
And here's a point also. If 18 weeks of analytics and you play the game, well, that's a total analytics. But when you're on the spot that day,
when you come to the playoffs, that's a whole different scenario.
That spot, that play,
You do this here with that sheet of paper. And start over. Because you know the playoff is totally different.
18 games, that's the total.
Thank you.
But the day of the game, it's a different feel.
And if I know that I run OJ off tackle 87% of the times at short yardage, I'm not running 55 blast. I'm running a counter play. I'll still give him the ball, but I'm going to give him in a different fashion, in a formation that's going to show I'm going to go the opposite. Because you're sitting on 55 blast. Oh, Foster, he loves 55 blast. I did in the regular season. Yeah. I did when I wasn't win or go home. Now I got to get him the ball in a different fashion.
You got to have a little wrinkle.
I got a wrinkle. I'm still giving O.J. Anderson the ball, but he's going to start right, and we're going to come back left.
I'll tell you a prime example. When we played Buffalo in Super Bowl 25, prior to Super Bowl 25, analytics said that we were more of an outside team, and Rodney Hampton was the running back at the time, and that's what they focused on. So when Rodney got hurt in the playoffs, and I became the focus point of our offense, the coaches came to me and said, "What plays do you like best?" I said, "Keep me between the tackle. Don't let me go outside. Keep me between the tackle." Well, in Super Bowl 25, we sat down and we went over our game plan, and they said, "What do you want?" I said, "Run me ride 34, ride 35. That's all I want to do." And then Parcells said, "Well, we got to sprinkle you around the end just to keep him honest. Just to keep him honest." Well, Buffalo had no idea that we were playing tackle football. They were playing their ends outside, and we beat them up inside.
Right.
And when they came and realized what we were doing, even defensively, when we had two guys rushing and dropping 9, they beat themselves over the head because they wanted to throw the ball rather than run the ball. As soon as they started running the ball, they started scoring, and Thurman ended up with 160-some yards. Mm-hmm. They would have won the game. But analytics say throw. Throw. Don't matter if you're throwing against a 9-man defensive secondary. It says throw.
Yeah, and
that's what they did.
In that game also, they said that the coach was the coach that went for it on fourth down more than anybody else. But at some point, you got to break the tendency, right, OJ?
Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You got to break the tendency, like we were just talking about.
Yeah, I would think.
So we're going to go. We're going to take those points. Those points are valuable in the playoffs. I mean, those are gold bullion.
Yeah.
And you got to
put them up anytime you can.
Oh yeah, and then at that point you're going to go up, or you would have gone up if you cooked the first one, and then you would have tied it the second one, and they would have changed the whole complexity of the game.
My question would be is, are you afraid that the running back or the running play that you select is not going to work? And if it's not going to work, what is it based on? Because you've been doing it for 18 weeks, running short yardage and goal line. Right. So why all of a sudden you get into the playoff and you decide that whatever had worked early on, and kind of what you were saying, Mel, about changing things around, if it ain't broken, you don't fix it.
Right.
Okay? Now, if they've been doing this, they've been successful all 18 weeks, why do you get in the playoff and you decide that analytics tells me to go away from running the football and let me throw the football? Well, that's why they're home.
Right.
That's why they're home.
Mm-hmm. We're talking with O.J. Anderson, talking with Mel Owens. When O.J. Anderson retired, 7th in rushing touchdowns in the NFL, 8th in rushing yards, 19th in career rushing touchdowns, and one of 31 running backs in the history of the National Football League to rush for more than 10,000 yards. You were the Super Bowl MVP. You've won 2 Super Bowls.
Hey, man, some guys really go around campaigning to get in, right? But his numbers speak for themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right? You shouldn't have to.
Like a billboard in Vegas?
You shouldn't have to pass out. You shouldn't have to pass out cards to say how bad I am. Right?
No.
You know what? I appreciate that.
No.
He was a bad cat. I played against a dude for a lot of times. I'll vouch for it.
He needs to be in Canton.
Here's another thing, too. You can put up a lot of numbers and say, okay, you played a long time. But when you win 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah, and Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, no, that's what you need to put you over the goal line, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And he needs to be in. If all other cats getting in, come on, man.
Right. Come on, man.
Well, I got to go on a campaign for him.
Hey, look here.
We'll start putting
that's why I'm here on Radio Road this whole week.
Yes.
Is to speak on behalf of that. Somebody just need to tell me what is it that I'm doing wrong? because if I'm doing something wrong, I'll stop and start trying to do it right.
You got to get
so I don't know what it
these
is
cats
based
are campaigning,
on.
man. We got a campaign for you.
I don't know what it's based on. I think now that what I've been noticing is if you got a TV show, a sports TV show, you probably gonna get in.
Hype.
So that's why Walls and I ain't in yet. We don't have a show yet.
So I get as his cousin, and then somebody who does it. I gotta get us a TV show.
We gotta go
get a TV show.
And Wall's got like 50-some interceptions.
It's just ridiculous. He's one of two people to lead the NFL in interceptions 3 years in the career. Nobody's he and Ed Reed. I mean, come on. Everson should have been in before Ed. Come on. I mean, Ed Reed should be in, no question.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, well, why are you leaving? Lester Hayes ought to be in. I mean, what are we doing?
Oh, my God.
What are we doing?
You know, there's guys that change the games,
They don't
guys
even
that put
think
up
about
big
him no
numbers.
more.
But, you know, O.J. Anderson, 2-time Super Bowl champ.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Come on.
And big numbers, too, on top of it.
OJ, listen, we will connect back with you. We'd love to have you on our show on the weekends. Kellen Winslow just walking by. We're going to figure something out for my cousin and you. And you know,
Appreciate
look, I'm kind of halfway.
Awesome for both of them to go in together
at the same time.
Both are number 24 too.
Dang.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Go.
But you know what? It kind of go back to what Mel said. If I need to sell myself to the world, it seems like what I got to do.
Seems like that's what the deal is.
When you want to talk about analytics, do your analytics on now.
Right.
Do analytics and you'll see.
I'm gonna tell you another thing,
That's
too.
all you got to do. Do your analytics and you'll see.
You know, and I played against O.J. Anderson enough
Yes.
to verify.
You're right.
You give me the numbers, and I go, that dude. I walk around, I go, well, I know he's in. And I go, you're not in? And,
Right.
you know, guys are surprised.
Double-digit year, first-round draft pick. K-Mas Kedis, as they say. What more you want?
Yeah,
What more you want?
They go, well, you're not in? Yeah, I go,
Right.
oh, man, he's not in. I go, wow, he's not in. That's
Yeah.
impossible.
You know what's funny? I lose the rushing title to Walter Payton by 5 yards my rookie year, and I got hurt the second half of the game. That's the only reason why I didn't win the rushing title. But, you know, that's that. That's that.
That's real talk.
Well, it looks like we need to start campaigning.
No doubt.
Well, whatever we
That's
need
what
to
it
do,
takes.
I'm all in on it. So
Let's do it.
OJ, thank you so much for your
No,
time.
thank you guys
We want to
for
make
the
sure you
platform.
can definitely get to as many places as possible. But thank you for coming to the 915 in El Paso,
Come on,
Texas.
boy. The 915. Yeah.
You know, so we can't thank you enough.
Thank
and
you.
again, for being so kind and being a big brother for me with my cousin Everson Walls. Y'all will get in. We'll pray you in. We'll do whatever it takes. But thank you for stopping by Radio Row
Appreciate your
and
time.
600 ESPN El Paso today.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to step aside. We're going to come back. We are laying down the law, and we're on 600 ESPN El Paso.
Performance Services uses a seamless design-led design-build process from the first site visit and throughout the guarantee period. Their team consists of 24 licensed architects, 14 project managers, and 7 licensed professional engineers in Texas. Here in El Paso, Performance Services past projects include YISD football stadium upgrades, along with lighting and HVAC upgrades in SISD elementary and middle schools. For your next big project, contact John Reese at Performance Services, 562-965-0373, and online at performanceservices.com. Before we build anything, we build relationships.
Saturday, March 9th, Speaking Rock presents Shady,
May I have your attention, please?
a live tribute band to the music of Eminem.
Yourself in the music, the moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance.
A free show on Speaking Rock's Outdoor Plaza.
I've created a monster, cause nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want Shady, I'm chopped liver.
Shady, the country's premier Eminem tribute. Ages 21 and over. Saturday, March 9th at Speaking Rock. See Speaking Rock's Facebook page for more info.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
You might know Oscar Arieta as the official insurance agent for the UTEP Miners. Oscar Arieta is also the Hometown Hero Award presenter for the UTEP basketball team. Here's Oscar Arieta.
We wish Coach Adams, Coach Golding, and all of the UTEP basketball teams a great season.
The Oscar Arieta Agency is here to guide you through your home, auto, life, or commercial insurance needs. Visit OscarArietaAgency.com or call them at 915-400-6000.
Go Miners!
Hey, my name is Justice, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A nugget trays is when it's time for football season and time to have the boys over, Chick-fil-A was it. You bite into it and it's juicy, you got flavors popping. Oh yeah. On any D-A-Y, I need C-F-A.
Hey y'all, my name is Soraya, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nugget trays is how easy it is. That convenience of being able to order through the app is just unmatched. When I place that tray down, those nuggets won't be there for long. Everyone loves them.
600 ESPN El Paso.
Back, we are laying down the ball, coming to you live from Radio Row in Las Vegas. Getting ready for a Super Bowl this Sunday, Steve. A lot of movement today.
We're going nonstop again. So why don't you tell listeners about why we're here, how we're here with our sponsors.
So, can't do this every year without our sponsors. Want to mention some of our sponsors, our presenting sponsors, Palo Verde Homes, interview sponsors, Hills Automotive. Want to also thank our supporting sponsors, Pelican Steak and Seafood, 915 Tours, Jay Carrizal General Construction, Oscar Arieta Agency, Roland Smoke Barbecue, Performance Services, Wind Supply of El Paso, and Chick-fil-A on Airways. Thanks to all our sponsors. I appreciate all the support that you guys give us. And, Steve, lots of moving around today on Radio Row.
Oh, yeah. Bringing on the gentleman who I had pleasure to meet. Gosh, now it seems like yesterday, but it's probably been about 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah. Tank Williams, Stanford, NFL defensive back. How you enjoying Radio Row Lost Wages style?
Actually, I'm enjoying this Vegas trip. I've been out here a couple of days. I haven't had one sip of alcohol. And so You're
smarter than me.
Yeah,
because I went to last with Larry, and everybody wanted to buy. I like the adult beverage.
Me too.
But I'm not a big drinker. You know what I mean? If I didn't have a drink for a month, right? I love ice cream. I got it, but I buy like the low calorie stuff now, so I can enjoy that.
I love an adult beverage, but I have a son that's turning 2 on Valentine's Day. So what I love more than my adult beverage is sleep. So when I'm away from the family,
I hear you.
I prioritize sleep when I'm in Vegas. So I get back to the room early.
Yeah.
And I kick those feet up and I make sure I get me a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You get the chance, you do it.
Absolutely.
I remember those days.
So Tank, I got a 5-year-old, so maybe we can play college at the same institution, huh?
Yeah.
You know, Stanford, Princeton come together, we can find a spot somewhere for him, right?
They're not playing running back, it's all good.
I got a feeling this was going to be a running back.
Well,
he's quick.
But he likes to hit. We got the flag football going, and he's tackled people a two times. I'm like, Waddy, hold up, boss. We can't tackle anybody. We got to pull the flag. So, no, he's doing great, and you're looking well, man. Tell me what's going on with you while you're here in Radio Row.
So during the past season, I cover football from all different angles. I cover the X's and O's. I do a little bit of sports betting. I do fantasy. And so I think that allows me to see the game from a different vantage point than a lot of analysts out there, especially since, we played.
You played.
As well. So that gives us a different viewpoint as well.
Completely
so
different.
I like to put all that info together and try to come up with a projection for how I see certain games or certain matchups going.
So let's just take the last 2 championship games. Did they come out to kind of the way that you had seen?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I would say if we want to focus on the AFC Championship game, if you see the way that the Buffalo Bills were able to establish the run against the Kansas City Chiefs, there's no way in hell that Todd Monken, the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator, should have come out and said we're only going to run Lamar and those running backs for a combined 16 times.
Made no sense at all, did it?
No sense whatsoever. Now, I understand why they may have gotten a little besides themselves for this reason alone. The Kansas City Chiefs deferred the kickoff, gave it to Baltimore. Baltimore went 3 and out. Patrick Mahomes gets the ball, drives straight down the field, so they go up 7-0. Baltimore's like, all right, I need to get my act together. So Lamar goes down, gets the touchdown.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes drives right back down the field and gets the touchdown 14-7.
Right.
So now Todd Monken's thinking like, okay, it's going to be one of those shootouts. I'm going to have to sling that ball around and try to keep up with Patrick Mahomes. No, stick to the script. He got out of his bag, and then that's when the Chiefs took control of the game, and it was a wrap.
You know what? Absolutely. But you know what? The average fan don't understand that. You have to stick to your game plan.
Yeah.
Because
you have to stick to your advantage. The advantage for the Baltimore Ravens was the run game. Try to play with a lead and then lean on your defense.
Why didn't Lamar run?
They weren't calling it. You're going to run the plays that the offensive coordinator's calling.
Yeah.
Now, I will admit this. And as bad as the Baltimore Ravens offense played, what happens if Zay Flowers doesn't fumble into the end zone?
Yes.
What happens if Lamar doesn't throw in the triple coverage?
Yes.
What happens if Lamar doesn't get a little bit too comfortable back there in the pocket, holds the ball a tick longer, and he gets a strip sack?
Right.
Or it can say, why is Todd Monken calling those deep play action plays where Lamar's back there for 5 seconds versus calling quick game? I mean, so there's so many scenarios.
And you called out so many points that totally changed the outcome. Because those don't happen, I think they win.
Totally different story.
Yes.
When you look at the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions game, I don't know why the Lions got away from the run.
Heartbreaker.
Because there was no way that they were stopping the run. You saw the blueprint from Aaron Jones and the Green Bay Packers running all up and down the field.
And the first series.
Right.
They ran, they scored.
Chunk plays with David Montgomery. You bring in Jahmyr Gibbs the next, and
they would have won, but my boy fumbled.
Well, Gibbs fumbled. Josh Reynolds drops 2 passes, uncharacteristic. And I like Dan Campbell's aggressiveness, but I feel like you can't deal in absolutes. He was in the whole season, he's like, no matter what, on 4th down, I'm going. But after you have a 17-point lead, you give a lot of it back. You have an opportunity to kick a field goal, and then you go tied up, so it's 0-0. And all the players say, I have to win the back half of the game.
We just had O.J. Anderson on talking about the same thing. At some point, you got to say, I'm in the moment.
Exactly.
This is what's happening, and points are points, and it matters.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just can't leave points in the.
Anytime you have that opportunity to put them up, you got to put them up.
And that late in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
It's a whole different game when you're there and you got the feeling. It's like, you know what? What does your gut say? You know, I know analytics say 18 games, go for it. But in reality, what does my gut say now? It says kick it, get the points, and move on. Like you said, we would have gone up by 3 or tied, and then we would at least tied the game. It would change the complexity of the game.
Right.
Because instead of tying the game, you're still down 3. San Francisco had been moving the ball the whole second half.
Yeah.
And so now they eat time off the clock, go down the field, go up 10. And regardless of what happened in the red zone where they ran the ball and they had to call a timeout with David Montgomery, and that cost them not being able to get the ball back. Like, they lost the game when they didn't kick the field goal. 49ers drove down and went up 10 late in the game.
That's a wrap. And you can see that. And you have to have the feel for that. To me, as long as I'm putting pressure by making the numbers go higher on the scoreboard against you, that makes you think about me and not sticking to your game plan. Because here I come.
And one thing I say is momentum is a hell of a drug, and that was one way to kind of stymie that momentum that the 49ers had.
Yes, and you have to get the points.
Yeah,
yes.
And by not getting the points, it just allowed them to continue.
You knew when they didn't get it on 4th down and it went back to San Francisco, you go, this game's over.
It is. I did. I walked away.
This game's over.
And you know how much I wanted them to win.
No more big, or you didn't win the big gulp.
No, I did not.
Right?
We played for the big. We've been playing for the big gulp since 1982.
Yeah, they it was a heartbreaker for me because you guys know for over a year now I've been saying the Detroit Lions will be there.
That's right.
And God bless them.
Yeah.
You got to be smart in the moment, right?
I had someone who's a diehard Detroit Lions fan. He's like, I never thought the Detroit Lions could break my heart again until
they did.
Conference championship game.
And it was just a few things.
Yeah.
It
doesn't take much.
It was a phenomenal season, though. But I mean, there were just some critical areas where I felt like they were clearly the better team.
Hey, this Super Bowl would have been a whole lot different if Detroit was here.
And you know what? Here's the thing, and I can't speak that I know this factually. I don't think the league cared if San Francisco or Detroit won. I think they did want the Swifties, though.
Oh, absolutely.
They wanted the Swifties.
Yeah.
If they could have the Swifties,
yeah, no doubt.
Then life was good.
Absolutely. I don't know. If Detroit would have come here, would the electricity still be the same as without?
Yeah, Detroit's going to travel. I'm from Detroit.
Yeah,
I wasn't a big Detroit fan, but by de facto fan, right?
Right.
The vibe would have been here. Detroit brings it, man. Detroit's good.
Those 2 playoff games.
Oh, they bring it. They bring it. They'll travel, especially if you've never been here. Oh man, they'll bring the whole state here.
That was the most electric environment I've seen in a playoff game in I don't know how long. Like, man, that Detroit Stadium was pumping, and that gave me an idea. Like, man, like if they could have had home field advantage throughout.
Yeah.
No one's beating them.
I like the coach. I like Campbell. I like the team. He put a lot of toughness back into it. Because Detroit just wasn't tough for decades. And you can see that he's really changed the culture there.
I think back to our conversations when the three of us used to talk a year or two ago, and you told me or you told us that the atmosphere in Detroit was so old-fashioned.
Oh, my God. It was Edsel.
And then you watched him come in and coach, and for the first time you see players believe in the coach, coach believe in the players, and the program just energized.
There was critical mass there where he came in and said, no more BS with this losing attitude. And remember, he was one of the guys on the Lions team that went 0-16, and I think they lost like 30, 40 games in a row. Right, and that era had set back Detroit football 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
And he came and changed it. That's a big deal.
And when you look at things that happened prior, where you have the rift between Matt Patricia and Darius Slay, and if I see like one of your better players and the head coach having a little bit of friction, I'm sure that there are more of those fissures throughout that team.
Oh, you know how it is, man.
Yeah, and so when you have a guy like Dan Campbell that comes in and has everyone on the same page, and you
no
build
nonsense,
like a family-type atmosphere, and you have everybody working hard each and every day, you see what the byproduct is.
Yeah, and you could see it.
When you look over on the sideline, you go, he's a badass.
Yeah.
He's a badass dude.
And the program just moved forward. And you saw it every week after week after week. They wanted to win, and they were playing to win.
I think one important thing that he said is, like, I don't know if we're going to be back. Like, I made it to the AFC Championship game my rookie year, never sniffed it again.
Yeah, I played 11 years. We went twice, 85, 89. We ran into the 85 Bears, which was like a prolific team. Then we ran to the 89 49ers, which was another prolific team. So it is hard to get there. It's hard to win. It's just a tough deal, right, Tank? I mean, everybody goes in with high hopes, and then you go.
There's only going to be one on the top at the end.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, appreciate the time. We're going to step aside, take a break, pay some bills. More to come on El Paso's 600 AM ESPN.
Hello and happy Thursday or Friday Eve. I'm ABC7's Hillary Florin for 600 ESPN El Paso. I have a look at the headlines on this 8th day of February from our KVIA studios. Starting with our forecast, here's Storm Tracker Jalen Lewis.
Happy Thursday. Our ABC7 First Alert is no longer in place as we will be seeing a much quieter weather pattern after a windy Wednesday in the borderland where a cold front dropped in. Behind this cold front, it will be much cooler with afternoon temps in the 50s and evening temps in the 30s along with breezy conditions. For your Saturday, we will have a slight chance for precipitation, but here comes the warm weather because going into your work week, we will see a warming trend.
Jalen, thank you so much. Now taking a look at the headlines. One person has been taken to the hospital after being hit by a car this morning on Burnham Road in Lee Trevino. According to police, they received the call before 6:30 this morning. One person again taken to the hospital with serious injuries. A few lanes in that area were closed but are open now. One person dead after a single vehicle crash on the east side that happened on Loop 375 South at the I-10 interchange. According to police, a call came in minutes before 10 p.m. Our crews noticed that special traffic investigators were also on the scene, indicating the severity of that accident. And another crash. Horizon Police searching for the person responsible in the death of a teenage boy after being hit by a car and then taking off. It happened on Darrington Road and Pauling Drive near Horizon Boulevard. The teen was taken to the hospital, but a spokesperson for the Horizon Police Department told us that he was killed. When the person driving that vehicle is found, we'll let you know online. After murdering a man with a sword, a Las Cruces man is sentenced to 10 years in prison. Arturo Francis Quintana pled guilty to second-degree murder. Police responded to a fight on East Bout Street. Quintana grabbed a bicycle and fled the scene, and police found Efren Gutierrez dead inside. Quintana will serve his 10-year sentence at the New Mexico Department of Corrections. I'm Hillary Florin. Those are your headlines. Have a great day.
Rollin' Smoke Barbecue in Anthony, Texas. Your first and last stop for Texas' best barbecue. Smoked beef brisket, baby back ribs, plus their signature pound-and-a-half dino rib. Rollin' Smoke Barbecue, hosting a very special leap year party Thursday, February 29th, 6 to 9 p.m. Featuring live music from the Chilerianos. Learn more about Rollin' Smoke Barbecue and their leap year party on Facebook at Rollin' Smoke BBQ. Rollin' Smoke.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
This is Steve Kaplowitz, and 600 ESPN El Paso has a great way for you to enjoy sports talk on demand. Download our show by subscribing to the free 600 ESPN El Paso podcasts on your Apple or Google Play device. After that, you can enjoy the best of sports talk each day, delivered commercial-free to your phone or tablet. That's right, all the best calls, interviews, and insight with the touch of a button, so you never miss a moment. 600 ESPN El Paso podcasts.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose.
Mommy.
That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Whether it's a simple oil change or repair to a medium heavy-duty size vehicle, Hills Automotive Center can get your vehicle back on the road. They are the automotive diesel, RV, and equipment repair center trusted by the community for over 55 years. Can't make it into the shop? Ask about their roadside service units and towing service. Hills Automotive Center, located at 7735 Alabama. As for Dave Hill and Carlos Reyes, call Hills Automotive Center today, 915-755-1681.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Hey, it's Greeny. Stay tuned at 4 today for Sports Talk with Steve Kaplowitz.
Here on Radio Row. Don't worry, Vince is going to get it, Chris.
Got it.
Got a movie made after him, man. Figure this out. Got our man Eric Swan as well. Cardinals. One of the biggest men I've ever seen. I'd love to see Jonathan Ogden and Eric Swan in the Oklahoma drill. I could run behind that. That would have been 600 pounds of collision.
Yeah. I'd hate to have to run the Oklahoma drill with him.
Well, I know he would treat me rude, but hell, you already pulled my helmet and tried to get my ear hole.
Hey, all's fair if you don't get caught.
Right.
Is that Oklahoma drill? Is that what they used to call the Nutcracker?
Probably.
Yeah,
There you
probably.
go. Oh, I just want to make sure.
So we have Vince Papale, we have Eric Swan. So 2 NFL greats. And Eric, your story to the NFL is one of the most unique of all time. I mean, in the last 30-plus years, nobody did the semi-pro. Now, I didn't look. I didn't go to the technology. Bay State Rollers, Bay
State Titans.
Bay State Titans. Okay,
Yes,
so I was
Bay
close.
State
Okay.
Yes.
I would get the Bay City Rollers. Remember the guys with Saturday night?
You're going to start singing and dancing.
S-A-T-U-R. Yeah,
Not
okay.
that crew.
It's
Not that
crew. The Titans. Yes, sir.
Yes.
The Bay State Titans.
Oh, my Lord.
Now I know why I didn't get good conduct grades in high school.
Yes,
I'm the joke guy, right? But you and Vince, no joke, you've left your marks on the National Football League. And that's special because it is a special game. Just like John Facenda says in The Power and the Glory. Mm-hmm. You know, the men that play this game make it special. I have that whole 3-minute, 25-second montage probably memorized. We'll be here all day, baby. You know, it's a game that kept me very focused as a kid and even now. What are you doing? What's your focus, Eric?
Well, my focus right now,
yes, sir.
What I'm doing after football, I'm working with kids, keeping them active, mentally active, physically active. You know, kids today, they're just like parked on the couch, into all this, active software of, playing games, Nintendo and Xboxes and things of this sort. You know, they're losing their social skills.
Yes, that's concerning.
Yes, that's very concerning.
You know, kids today can text you a message, but they can't talk to you and look at you in the eye. You know?
Right.
We were actually talking about that this morning.
Right.
Yep. I asked the guys I was coaching 7-on-7 in Texas, and I said, Coach, Christy texted me. I said, are you going to take the phone when you meet her, and y'all are just going to stand in front of each other and text? I said, you got to look the girl in the eye and tell her, hey, I want to take you to homecoming. Hey, can we hang out in the fall semester when we go back to school? Y'all need to put the phones down.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are you doing to make that work for them?
Well, I'm just going out to the school systems, out into the community, and just having talks with kids, having talks with young adults as well, and just talking about, just don't lose what we were, founded on, based on. Technology is good to a certain extent, but if it takes over, then we have a problem, because, what, we're human, and technology is technology.
Yes.
Technology is supposed to benefit us, not actually take over.
That's why I don't like that AI so much, because I'm like, hey, wait, we're giving too much power to a machine.
Right, exactly.
Think about your pass today.
Yes.
Think about how you got your pass today. You looked into a camera, and it spit something out for you.
Exactly.
That's scary.
Yes.
That's the first time they've had the day passes like that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're like, whoa, giving you a little too much on the. Yeah, man.
I went into the shop, the NFL shop, got a bag of shirts. They didn't scan it. They didn't look at it. I left the bags in the shirt, put the bag in a box. Everything I bought popped up on the screen.
Yeah, you just put it down in the thing, and it calculates it all up for you.
Crazy.
It's here.
It's crazy.
Or if like my daughter the other day, she was visiting a certain site for tickets for something or get information on something, and then in the next 10 or 15 minutes, her phone was blowing up with everybody within that genre of whatever she
Yes.
was looking for. I mean, it's just big. Big Brother is watching all the
They
time.
are always
It's
watching.
scary.
Well, I want to know if they were watching last night, because you got an award and Eric introduced you, and it was phenomenal, because I think you have two gentlemen in front of us, Chris, that have very unique stories to the NFL.
Agreed.
You know, we got a movie here. I guess, Eric, I don't know who could play you in the daggone movie, though.
Well, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Could,
Oh, you know?
But you know what? I think he would take over. I don't think we have a big enough budget for him.
Yeah.
He'd have to do it for the love.
Yes.
Say, look, Dwayne, you're going to get paid.
Right.
But you're not going to get Rock money.
Exactly.
But we could give him the money off of the box office sales.
Oh,
We could
Or it was
build.
part of it, right?
No, Vince. Hey, Vince, did you get a little? I know you got a little off the movie, right? Marky Mark didn't get everything, did he?
Pretty much so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, I mean, I was just, guys like us, we're just the subject of the movie. I actually was I was a contributor in there, and I got in there, but I didn't get any residual from it.
No?
Yeah, my residual.
You need a better You need a better lawyer.
Well, nor did. Well, we checked around, and that's basically the way it is. you know?
Wow.
Yeah, if you're the subject of.
Okay.
There's a lot of other different.
The
ways.
notoriety and that, we get right.
You hit to speak. When you hit the speaking circuit,
The honorarium and
I
that.
got
Okay.
the speaking. So I mean, it's still going. And
It
the movie
should.
came out in 06, 05. I'm going from here to San Diego to do a watch party. Are you kidding me? Because of a group that I spoke to 3 months ago, they liked. I guess I passed the audition,
Right.
And now they have me being in front of 2,000 people with the game. But it's just what it is. If they get that movie made about you, it just takes it to a different level.
Yeah.
It's amazing here. Just walking through and how many people will stop you, want to get your autograph, take the picture with you. It's just insane.
So we're going to make sure this too, because you're on the defensive side of the ball. Michael Orr was offensive side of the ball with me. I don't think he had the right legal team. We're going to make sure before you do anything, you come see me. I will dang sure make it right that you don't have residuals going off to people's uncles, aunts, godparents, mamas. No, we're going to make sure it goes to you or your foundation, and that it will be something that you have, as we say in law, dominion and control over.
Correct.
You need to have dominion and control over your funding.
Right.
At all times.
Right.
Vince, last night you received an award. I know that I personally enjoyed watching it, but while I was watching it, I was watching you, and I was thinking to myself, what's going through Vince's mind right now as you were watching the film of all your accomplishments as you played for the Eagles? So what was going through your head last night?
Well, there were 1,000 snapshots. There were great pictures of me
Awesome.
and my father. It was such a contributing factor in me doing what I did and how I pulled it off. My father's Father's Day gift when I graduated from high school was a full scholarship to St. Joseph's College for track and field, not for football. And him being there. Then there was another kaleidoscope in there, and I saw Vinny, my little Vinny, who I coached, and he's doing a little sweep, he's doing a little run. Next thing you know, there he is at the combine, and he's running the 40-yard dash. And then there was another one. I'm a cancer survivor, and I did a lot of stuff in Philadelphia for Jefferson Hospital and colon rectal cancer awareness. I did those programs, still do that. And then they actually, there was a big commercial that was running in Philadelphia for about 2 years, and there was scenes from that commercial. And then Dennis Franks, my teammate, roommate, the book, The Last Laugh, and he was too small, I was too old, and Dennis is in heaven looking down at us, and it was just, for me, it was just a kaleidoscope of snapshots of my life and all the people that were so influential, made such an impact on my life, and there it was. The only one that was missing, my mom, which she was a great athlete, and she suffered from mental illness and anxiety and depression. And when I'm growing up, she's in and out of mental hospital. And the one other is my high school coach. And he'll always be I gave his quote. That was one about happy are those who dream dreams. And if it weren't for him when I was in high school, I don't know if I would have survived. I would have gone on the other side. I grew up in a housing project, and everybody's pulling at you. And so I decided to go on the right side, and that was because of him. That's why I taught school for 6 years, and all the school teachers who made such a great impact in me. and such a positive impact on me. So they were the things that were going through my mind as I'm watching that thing, and I'm looking at Janet, and it's like tears are, I just take a breath. And there's Rita, who is the producer of it, and she's looking at it, smiling at me right now, and knowing how much of an impact it made on me. I cannot wait to get home and show it to our kids. That's going to be so great.
Well, I tell you, we certainly enjoyed it, and just happy to be able to enjoy the moment with you and your lovely wife. It was something that I know that I will always remember, and watching the film was just exciting for me.
Oh, thank you.
Vince Papale, Eric Swan, let's get over to you. So I have this guy, he's my best friend. People probably know him, a little bit mature. Superman and Lois and Clark. He's got his own production company. He's a first-team All-American. I think we need to pitch to Dean Cain the Eric Swan story. We need to come up with that one. We get The Rock. I can do some of the legal work. We can be extras in the back, Chris.
Okay.
We can have Vince. we can,
you like that?
Vince could be one of the coaches.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
We can have a guy. You got to put your people in the movie.
Yes, exactly.
I figured that one out as hanging around him. I missed it by just a little bit, Chris. When Dean's dad did Pure Country with George Strait, we should have been dancing, two-stepping in Fort Worth.
Well,
we missed that.
At least one of us should have. The other might not so much.
Okay, see? All right. He's been doing this to me for a long time. How did you and Vince connect before we let you go? Yeah,
we met through Rita Mort, actually.
The lovely
there
Rita.
You go.
Yes,
okay, beautiful,
absolutely.
beautiful.
Yes.
And, again, if you take a half a second, you recognize. And tell us, because you took a very unusual route like Vince.
Yep.
Tell us about your route.
Okay,
to get to the National Football League.
My route was an unusual route. I'm unprecedented, country boy in North Carolina. I just loved, sports itself. A little hyperactive kid, grandfather kind of pushed the envelope with the parents, put this kid in sports. He has a lot of energy. We can burn that off. It kind of just turned into something at that time snowballed. I became an all-around athlete, outside.
So play more than one sport, gentlemen.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Yes,
I've always informed that.
Yes.
Thank you. Because I want today's parents to know, don't do 40 weeks of baseball and had a guy have dead arm at age 9. Okay, thank you.
Exactly, because you know what, you can find out where you actually want to go.
Yes.
Where you shine.
Thank you.
So, I was a wrestler, shot put and discus, second in my sophomore year in high school.
Awesome.
What else? Football team, versatile on the football team, extra point kicker, kickoff to the other team, center,
nice,
defensive tackle. The whole 9 yards. Yeah, you got to play it.
Right.
So long story short, I had all these 99 full ride offers. To go anywhere I wanted to go in the country. And I was highly touted by universities and colleges throughout the country. And it just boiled down to the SATs, My final senior year, I needed to, score the 20 points or the 700. And for some reason, I could not pass that test, The grades were okay. They could have been better, but it all came down to the test. So I didn't want that label back in the day as a Proposition 48. I could have went to college.
Oh, okay.
Most people don't know that. I could have went to college.
Okay.
But I would have been a Prop 48. So
we took him in Nebraska.
Yeah,
we were taking you. T.O. was good with that. And we have people that graduated.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a stigma that will forever stay with you in the collegiate system. And I didn't want that stigma.
Okay.
So, I sat down and talked with the head coach and Dick Sheridan at the time. I met with my parents, and we talked about the options of just sitting out the rookie year, the freshman year, retake the test, gain 4 years of eligibility. That's what we were going to do. And so that's what I decided to do. And so they brought me up to Raleigh, worked some jobs up there, hung around campus a little bit, hung around the guys on the team who I'm going to be playing with. And one particular guy that was I was supposed to take his place was Ray Agnew. Ray Agnew, defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Out of North Carolina State, went in as the 10th pick in the 1990 draft with the Patriots overall. And so I'm just hanging out. And bottom line is, I got recognized. There was a scout there by the name of Tom Marino that was actually scouting Ray, and he saw me. That's how I got noticed. And so afterwards, he came up to me and approached me and said, listen, I talked to the coordinator, and if things don't work out for you, here's my card. Now, I'm just totally baffled by this, this statement from this man. I'm like, no one goes from high school to the NFL. Plus I was confident, I passed my final test. So I nonchalantly took his card, put it in my back pocket. That following weekend, I drove to my parents' home, checked the mail, and there were the scores. Opened them up, and it was 20-point shot.
Oh.
And that was it. I lost all the scholarships and everything, and I thought it was the end of the world. So I'm home, doing laundry stuff, and rediscovered the card, called him up, Mr. Marino, in Raleigh, North Carolina. Went to go see him, and we talked about options. 3 options, and I was just totally astounded. I was like, I have options? I just lost 99 full-ride scholarships, and you tell me I have options. And so, we went over the options, and the first option was to bring him into the Saints training camp. He says you got the size and the speed, but you need someone to work with you. It's such a fast-paced and very competitive environment. If you get hurt, you're going to be out like that. I agree with you. The second one is to go to the CFL, and they had a contact up there, play, a season, and then take that tape and kind of look at it and, examine it and grade it at that point in time. And I said, that's not going to work. I had never left the country. My mother's not going to let me go, to Canada to play football. And so the last option was a long shot. And he mentioned about a modern league football system that was starting up in the summer, about a month and a half from now. And he said, listen, we got a contact in Lynn, Mass, by the name of Richard Bell. And so we flew in, and, the rest is history from that point. And so, when we talked with my parents and got the okay, got the clear, and we left there, went to Boston, played 13 games of semi-pro in this league, made a highlight reel, and send that highlight tape to every team in the National Football League, and the phone was ringing off the hook.
Awesome.
Dallas, Denver with the 4th pick, Detroit with the 10th pick, and in the day of the draft, the Cardinals shocked everybody with the 6th pick overall in the 1991 draft. Sounds like a Cinderella story, right?
It is.
Yes,
well, it is.
It is Cinderella. Little Dana Dane. Little Dana Dane.
And that's the thing, Vince. Probably one of the most unorthodox ways to get into the NFL, and you did it because you had hope.
Well, both of you.
You had a dream, and you followed it. And then you, Eric, everybody finds their path.
Right.
As long as you keep looking for it.
I mean, we're 2 kids from El Paso, and we're doing things on ESPN radio outside of El Paso. And, people say, El Paso, El Paso. I said, well.
But here we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? The show's ours.
Awesome.
And so
awesome stories.
We get that, and we understand it's not where you're from, it's where you're at, right?
True. Yes.
And both of you are at good places.
Yes, we are.
And we can't thank you enough for being on 600 ESPN El Paso, sharing the stories. And honest to goodness, I really would like to look at how cool would it be to contribute to another a better football story than this blind side is turning into a whole bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. We don't want that. Right. We want a clean one like Invincible, and then we can have you geek. Because I love the story, because technology is a plus, but don't make it a crutch where we're not humans anymore.
Right.
Exactly, yes.
And kids need to not slow down. I don't have my son at age 5. He has no technology or electronics. Zero.
Yeah.
He deals with dad. We talk, we sit at the table, we play Rock'em Sock'em Robots, we play Hi-Ho Cherry-O, and we play Candyland.
Right.
Something where we have to interact as humans.
Right.
You can get the TV and you can get the iPad and all that later on in life.
Right.
But your dad and you are going to bond probably till he's 8 or 9, then you're going to want to do something else. But as long as I get those first 8 years of human contact only with his dad, I think he's going to be all right.
Yes.
And y'all are too. You're amazing. We look to y'all as role models and the stick-to-itiveness and the perseverance that we need in everyday life. And I hope that the listeners recognize that too. Look into Eric Swan and Vince Papale a little bit more. It'd be a lot easier if we have a movie, because it's you just put it in.
Well, it should be a movie.
We're getting there.
We're working on it.
You got to put it out there. You got to talk about it. It's got to be something that, hey, you know what? Someone said we should make a movie about Eric Swan, because let's go. And now we have somebody that can really, Dean was first team All-American. He's supposed to be here. He should have been here. I don't know where he's at, but he's on his way, allegedly. And we're staying with him so I can bombard him for the next 4 days. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Yes.
Anything we can do
for
the two of you. And that's a lot, given that you're the Eagles guy. I'm a Cowboys guy. But But hey, you had Nick Foles. I did his high school games at Westlake. And back in Austin, he brought you the Rocky Trophy of the NFL.
That's
you got a statue of him, and, it's great to see. Cardinals have a high school guy also from Austin Bowie, my guy Elijah Higgins, who's been playing tight end. So we have representation for both teams, and so that'll work. That calms my nerves of knowing the Cardinals and the Eagles. As a Cowboys fan, we're going to help them. Yes. So we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Vince, always a pleasure to speak to you, sir.
We are going to take a break and come back with my favorite Dallas Cowboy cheerleader of all time. She should be one. I know she's in the top 5, but she's one in our book.
In ours,
and she's got a book, too. You like how we read that segue? All right, stay with us. More to come right here on 600 ESPN El Paso.
J. Cutisal General Construction is a diverse contracting company, diverse in both what they build and how they build. Owners and architects trust J. Cutisal General Construction's skills and dedication when tackling complex projects. They specialize in new construction, tenant improvements, remodels, and build-outs, and over 50 years of combined experience from pre-construction through design and project completion. J. Cutisal General Construction.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy, she sleeps well, she's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice, Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food, 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
What can you say about Pelican Steak and Seafood that you don't already know? Just that they continue to satisfy existing customers with the consistency in their kitchen and draw new customers looking for great seafood and steaks, all grilled to order. The bar is another sensation with the best martinis and specialty drinks in town. Open nightly at 4 p.m. and open for lunch on Sundays at noon. Pelican Steak and Seafood, 130 Shadow Mountain Drive on El Paso's west side. Dinner and drinks at Pelicans for every occasion. Reservations encouraged.
Hey, my name is Justice, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A nugget trays is when it's time for football season and time to have the boys over, Chick-fil-A was it. You bite into it and it's juicy, you got flavors popping. Oh yeah. On any DAY, I need CFA.
Hey y'all, my name is Soraya, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nugget trays is how easy it is. That convenience of being able to order through the app is just unmatched. When I place that tray down, those nuggets won't be there for long. Everyone loves them.
Weather, uncorruptible yet mysterious. Its movement determined by the cosmos and nature as indiscriminate as it is life-giving. Here at ABC7, Chief Meteorologist Doppler Dave Spielman and Storm Tracker Nicole Gomez investigate Mother Nature's only weakness, studying the language of science to exploit any hint of predictability to give the most accurate report for you, your property, and your family's safety. ABC7 Storm Track Weather, always tracking first to alert.
Streaming worldwide through the 600 ESPN El Paso mobile app. 600 ESPN El Paso is KROD El Paso, a Town Square media station.
Radio Row, Super Bowl 58. And we are rocking and rolling. We are laying down the law. We are the first half of 6 hours as Cappy and Adrian will be back in action 3 to 6 here local, 4 to 7 of course in El Paso. And it is day 3, believe it or not. And we're riding along with the first round pick of the Los Angeles Rams and superstar for the L.A. Rams first-round draft pick of the Rams, Mel Owens. But
sorry, I didn't even know we were on live.
You know what?
You got a book.
I do. I do anything for this young lady. She is solid, versatile. UT grad. Little Golden State Warriors, a little L.A. Defenders, a lot of Dallas Cowboys. Yes. We love that. And San Francisco 49ers, among other things. The beautiful, the one and only, one of my favorites, Bonnie Jill Laughlin. Bonnie Jill.
Thanks, Steven. I don't know about beautiful. I've been here 4 days.
Really?
I'm feeling a little.
Look here. If anybody in the world looked like you do after 4 days,
I can vouch for that.
Thank you.
Oh, thank
you. The first round pick of the Rams, Mel Owens. Bonnie Jill, what's going on? It's great to see you.
I know, always good to see you. I know. We're like family,
Yeah.
but sometimes we just don't catch up like we need to. We have got lives.
Can I make you family as wife? I'd be good to you.
A wifey?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little high maintenance. I don't know if you can handle it.
So let me tell you a quick story. We're going to Texas Tech, UT. We're at Memorial Stadium. We get some tickets.
Oh, listen to this.
They are upper deck. It's about the 35. She goes, I'm a seat snob. We can't sit here.
God.
I go Bonnie Jill.
I understand.
Thank you.
I get it.
So you played, and I'm always like on the field. So then when you're not on the field, I'm like, am I either in a suite or I better be like on the 50 yard?
Where's the tickets?
Wow.
Oh my God, I do the same thing. Someone goes, "Do you want to go to the game?" I'm like, first of all, where are the tickets? Number 2, do you have parking?
Okay, y'all are high maintenance.
Y'all
You're
need
right.
to hang out.
Y'all need to hang out.
Yes.
Never catch me in the upper deck, man. Or in the end zone.
Yeah, thank you. I am such a ticket snob.
I need to change my motto then from in beats out. Okay, lower deck or bust or suite. Lower deck or suite.
You should see me when we kept walking upwards. I was like,
it's not going to work.
Yeah,
you should have just stopped me so we didn't walk up.
And we were like with the GP, the general public. I'm like, what's going on? Like, we're going up. And Steven's like, he's trying to distract me, talk about like things that didn't matter.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But everything turned out well. We got to hang out on the set, the Longhorn Network.
Yes, that was
Bonnie
fun.
Jill was happy again.
And we did some post-game stuff. That was fun.
We did. So,
yeah.
I made in-game adjustments, Mel and Chris.
It is on-the-spot adjustments.
It's not how you start. It's how you finish.
This is true.
So
he made up for it.
Clearly, she's on with us today.
Yeah. Something
You did something right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Better be lucky than good. Bonnie Jill, you have a book in front of you with your name on it. Talk to me.
Yeah, In a League of Her Own, celebrating female first. I wanted a book that encompassed all the females that have paved the way. Pioneers, Billie Jean King is my chapter 1. Mary Lou Retton, Danica Patrick, Jackie Joyner Kersey, Layla Ali. You name it, they're in it.
Is Serena in there?
No, because she was doing her own book at the same time. So I was like, darn it. But one of my goats is named Serena. I have a real goat named Serena, Venus and Billie Jean. Anyways, that's another story. So, yeah, this is all the different chapters in here. It releases February 20th. I got pre-orders on Amazon.
Oh, it's not even out yet?
No, but I'm number 1 on new releases on Amazon.
Is it Audible?
And I beat Dion. And so I texted Prime. I said, I'm beating you now. And he goes, only for an hour, baby. I'll get you in the next hour.
Matter?
Is it
don't matter?
Is it on Audible too?
Yes.
Okay, it's good.
No, they want me to do that.
Yeah, you have to do it.
I haven't done it because it's going to take a lot of time for me to do Audible.
Well, yeah, either you get somebody to read it for you or you read it.
Yeah,
right?
they asked me about that,
But it's
literally,
good.
my publisher, and I'm like,
you have to.
Really?
I do a lot of Audible.
do you want to do it?
Well, I guess it's going to come from you. I'll listen to it. I'll promote it for you.
Yeah, we can promote it.
Okay.
So
yeah.
is that the only one you have?
Yeah, because February 20th it comes out. I'm going to send you a copy. I'll
Okay.
sign it and everything for you.
Go.
There
That's
we
all
go.
I want.
But yeah, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target.
So give us a little synopsis. I mean,
so basically it's just, all the women telling their stories, the sacrifices they made,
should we have somebody to write the intro for you or anything like that?
Yes.
Who?
So I have on the back, I don't know if you saw some of the endorsements, Jerry Rice, Bruce Bochy,
Okay.
Michael Irvin,
Yes.
Joy Taylor,
All right.
Jeremy Renner, Bill Self, Coach
All
Self, and then Reggie Saunders, who's the vice president of Jordan Brand.
Very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like a good book. I like the color.
Do you read it?
Yes.
Okay. I was
He went to
I wasn't sure. Like
Princeton,
I
man.
know, but
And law school.
Yeah.
Mel and I had to read 400 pages
I know,
of
but some
night
people aren't
as
big.
first years.
Some people aren't big like readers. Like they're
Well,
more
that's why
like
I said get Audible too, because
Okay,
you get in the
yeah.
cars.
He
and
does Audible. I
do.
don't wear glasses. I can still just open the pages. I was reading Off Center, Randy Grimes' book.
Oh, good.
Coming in.
Because
So,
me
I
and
do-
Steven, we got to know each other, and all of a sudden he told me about his roommate.
Kindle too.
Oh, yeah, Kindle, too. And all of a sudden, he's like, I'm roommates with Red. And I'm like, I call him Red. Remember? You knew. A lot of people don't know who Red is. He's Jason Garrett.
Yep.
But, yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, the connect. Well, let's talk about this weekend.
Yes. And then we want to talk about Michael Irvin.
Absolutely.
Stunt.
We love 88.
Yeah.
We love the playmaker. What about the game? You were also a San Francisco cheerleader. You got to be going and rooting for them, right?
Yeah, I know. It's tough. I just don't want to go to Super Bowl again and lose because, I don't want to be like the Buffalo Bills of like the recent, where we keep getting the Super Bowl and we don't win. It's like, I know we have 5, but I'm just saying going and, it just, it's frustrating. It's just hard that we're, going up against Mahomes and they have not been good about getting to the quarterback.
No.
So the past... Switch it.
We're good. There we go.
The past 2 playoff games, they have not gotten to the quarterback in the pass rush, and the defense is not playing like they've played regular season. So I'm concerned about that, mostly.
I'd be concerned about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
If I was playing
And
against him.
he can't leave any seconds on the clock because he'll go right down the field. He'll
Yes.
beat you with your arm, his legs.
Yes.
I don't want to play him, and I don't like him, so I don't want him to win again.
I want him to
He
win.
drives me nuts.
Drives me nuts too.
I am loving it.
Kermit cannot win again.
No?
What are you looking for, Steven?
I like
Well,
that. I think the same thing.
He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Exactly.
You got your boy Kevin Doc, Michigan.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
Mel, that's his
Natty.
teammate. That's Mel Owens' teammate, Dr. Kevin Smith. So
There we go.
just trying to put them
Yeah,
together.
all right.
But let's
I'd
get
like you to focus on the interview, but okay, you dial it back. All right, here we go. And 3, 2,
Ouch.
1.
Way to go.
There we go. Thank you.
Let's talk about Michael Irvin. Let's talk
Yes.
about what's going on with him. I'm a huge fan. The playmaker out of the 3. I mean, Emmett was the running back, so he always gets my endorsement.
But Michael was the leader. People don't realize
and
he was the leader.
He's one of 17 kids.
Yes,
I've
we
seen
know.
it. Listen, I know about 47 in the U.
That's the U
That's
number,
right.
4788.
Absolutely.
Yes.
One of my favorites of all time.
So
Liz
Liz Landry,
Okay,
and so she's
okay.
on Michael's team, and we've got Stunt, which is a sports platform for people, fans, to be able to interact with athletes.
Wow.
And it's Michael's new platform, and we've got so many different things coming up. And Liz, can
Liz,
probably
talk
say
to
more.
us.
Yes, so let me tell you about it. We've got the first major social media platform for sports content, only sports, so it's none of the politics or anything you don't want to see. So come to the app, definitely check
Or
it
here.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, it's just all the BS cut out, right? So it's really, really great. We have Tuesday and Thursday every single week. We've got trivia. It's 4 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, so definitely come play, free to join, free to win. We give out cash prizes every single week.
Cash?
Yes.
Cash, baby, cash.
Wow.
Yeah, you can also create live rooms, you know, with other people. You can interact with celebrities. You can create live
We have
tapes.
big names on there, all the big names.
Big names. We've got Michael Irvin out there, obviously. We've got Trey Wingo and Mark Schlereth. They host a live room every Monday. So it's really, really exciting. And, again, it cuts out all the clutter that you just don't want
So
to
how
see.
can I, if
You
I
got to
say,
get your phone and you're going to put the Stunt app.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. The Stunt app.
Yeah, go to
Okay.
your app store. Go to the Stunt.
Yes.
You can also go to thestunt.com.
Okay.
Free to join. Literally just put in your phone number. We'll send
Looking
you a
at it
code.
right now.
Log in. Please join. And you can see all our great content.
Okay, well, I'm going to be texting Bonnie Jill so I know how to set it up.
Are
just
you
right.
not good with the phone?
I'm good with the phone,
Oh.
but I like inside, not insider information because that
Okay.
sometimes can be illegal.
Yes.
And of course, we
Right,
lay down the law.
right.
We don't try to break the law. That's not the name of the show. But we can get as close to the edge as possible.
Yes, absolutely.
I do allow that. So,
Okay, perfect. Are y'all going to come to the party tonight?
Cigar party? Or-
No. Oh, well, that's
too.
Jaws.
That's
there.
over there.
Mine's the party after. The Playmakers party.
Do
at
we have
Sahara.
an invitation?
Yeah, I'll put you on the list. BL. We're going to put them on the list for the party.
Okay.
Put them on the list for the party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bonnie, chill.
Yes. And then
Thank
guess
you.
what? It's at Sahara. And we're going to have, since it's Sahara like a desert,
Yeah.
we're going to have a camel on the red carpet. And he's going to be wearing a Niners jersey.
Is it going to go Mike? If you make the camel go Mike.
Oh, my God.
That's what you want to capture. That'll get 4 million views.
Is that the one, the hump day? The
Yes.
camel?
Yes.
Yes.
Mike.
Does he say Mike? Oh, my
Yes,
God.
he does.
That's hilarious.
Yes, if you got the camel at Mike's party, you gotta have
Oh, my
him.
God,
You gotta
that's
have
funny.
Mike. 'Cause
Yes.
everybody's gonna go. Even though it's not, they're gonna go hump day.
Hump day.
Or they
Yeah,
can go
that's right.
cowboy. Change it to that.
That's great. What?
I'm here to help.
Yes, I like that. Are you listening to this?
Yeah, well, I
yeah.
will say it again.
Yeah.
I'll text you.
Yeah. So you got to get there early so you can take pictures with this camel.
Okay. Give me the name of the
Yeah,
book.
in A League of Her Own. And you can Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target.
220.
You pre-order
right?
it now.
220 released February
Yes.
20th.
Yes.
Then we go to the Stunt app.
Yep.
Yes, www.thestunt.com. Also in your app store, just iOS or Android, go ahead and search Stunt.
All right.
Awesome.
Have some fun. Hey, Mike
Thanks,
says
y'all.
we can win some cash.
Thanks for joining
Cash
us.
money.
Cash money.
There you go.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you so much. And we appreciate the invite for tonight.
I always
Yes.
invite you. I just kind of get overwhelmed and I forget.
No,
Yes,
I
so.
understand that as well. Well, we thank you. And we'll be there.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Get there early for the camel.
That's right. You know what else you could do? For the background song, Midnight at the Oasis.
Oh.
Bring your camel to bed.
He's so symbolic.
That playing in
He
the
is.
background, that's a one-hit wonder. But it's there for you. All right.
Work for the night.
Okay. I'm just trying to help. I want to earn my way in. I can't. You got to get the invite. Bonnie, Jill, Liz, thank you so much. I will get the book. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're live from Radio Row. This is 600 ESPN El Paso.
Palo Verde Homes is El Paso's award-winning home builder, and year after year, voters have named them among El Paso's top builders in City Magazine. 100% of the homes they build are Energy Star certified, and they are ranked as one of America's top 200 builders. Palo Verde Homes offers 3, 4, and 5-bedroom floor plans in East, West, and Northeast El Paso, in addition to Socorro, Horizon City, and New Mexico. Call Clearview Realty today at 996-5972 or visit paloverdehome.com. What coming home should feel like.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
People love their Mueller metal homes.
This is what we dreamed about, and we didn't really have a plan for the interior or the finish out. We just wanted the structure up, and we're taking it from there.
Looking at the sunrise in the morning, the sunset at night, just what we love.
I use Mueller because they make a superior product.
This is our home. This is our forever home.
Enjoying every minute of it and seeing it all come together, and one of these days I'll get her done.
Find out more at MuellerINC.com. you can depend on a Mueller metal roof.
We were fortunate enough to be able to build a house on family land, and we've really enjoyed being out here.
We couldn't ask for a better place to raise our boys.
Our home builder, I don't believe, had ever had an experience with working with Mueller and had nothing but great things to say about the company, about the process.
Everybody was professional.
If anybody mentions the word metal, we say we know a guy and give them the phone number to Mueller.
Find out more at MuellerINC.com.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
When temperatures fall, you can rise above heating costs with the maximum performance and energy-saving efficiency of a Champion furnace. The complete Champion line is equipped to take on the toughest conditions. So no matter what the season brings, you can depend on a Champion to keep you comfortable while saving money. Visit the Find a Dealer tab and schedule your installation at WinSupplyElPaso.com, your local Champion supplier, and learn how you can save up to 50% in energy costs.
600ESPNElPaso.com.
We're live. We're laying down the law here on 600 ESPN El Paso. So happy to be home. So happy to be doing our show on 600 AM ESPN El Paso. Chris Fernandez and I running around. People are interacting with us as we're on air. People are coming in. We've got gold jackets. We've got Super Bowl champs. It is just a veritable plethora of talent, and I think I know who that may be. Yeah, we'll get it to her. We've got Christy Scales, a sideline reporter for the Dallas Cowboys, who's been on the show already. Kellen Winslow's walked by. Oh my gosh, looking around. Steve Largent, we're going to have him here later on in the show. We've got who was our quarterbacks that we had earlier. Either way, we've got a lot of folks that have been coming through, notables here on Radio Row. We're going to get to as many guests as we can by 2 p.m., Chris.
Yep. And we don't get to do this, Steve, without the people who support us and give us sponsorship. So I'd like to talk about some of our supporting sponsors. Talking about Pelican Steakhouse and Seafood, offering only the finest seafood delivered twice a week to ensure freshness. And USDA Choice Angus Beef, aged in-house, located at 130 Shadow Mountain Drive. Take a trip out there and have some good food over at Pelican Steakhouse. 915 Tours, a division of Classic Elegance Coaches. See upcoming events and more on the 2024 Cowboy season's seats by visiting 915 Tours on Facebook and Instagram. Want to thank our sponsors, Jay Carrizal General Construction, specializing in new construction, tenant improvement, remodels, and build-outs. For more information, visit them online at jcarrizal.com.
Thank you, Chris. No huddle, fast-paced day for us. It's been fantastic. It is fantastic. So many people coming through. Got invited to a party.
Yeah.
And another party. I got to do the Bonnie Jill deal because she brought her friends who were former Cowboys cheerleaders to support one of our efforts back in Texas.
Yeah.
And so anytime we can do that, are we going to be able to get? We got the doctor in here. You got
Dr. Smith
got the
in
national
the
champ.
house.
You got a minute? You got a minute? Okay. This one. Just jump on. We got the hail to the victors. We got hail to the victors. Okay, here we go. This is what we've been talking about and waiting for.
Here we go.
Well, I tell you, last time we saw you, Doctor, you weren't wearing that hat.
No, he wasn't.
And this year, you are sporting the Michigan.
I am sporting the Michigan. I'm go blue all the way.
You're from Texas.
Class of 81.
You're from Texas.
I'm from Texas. Dallas Carter, baby. Come on.
That's right. Mel, your teammate.
I played with this dude in college.
That is awesome.
And now he's down in Houston.
Steve told me that after we
Smith.
left Houston, and he told me. I think that's
this because we had no idea that the doctor and Mel were boys.
Hey, Mel, I tell a story. I told him when we had the championship game in Houston. Mel was the first Michigan gladiator, I called him, when I was a freshman. He walked around the corner with a towel wrapped around him, and I looked at him and went, oh, my goodness, welcome to the Big Ten. He was like cut.
Yoked up, huh?
Yeah, he was yoked up. And I was like, okay.
I was serious, bro.
He was serious. And I went right to the weight room.
I was serious.
Sure did.
I'm still serious. Like my man here, Kevin. Doctor, he has it's patented, right?
It's patent pending, yep.
Okay, for migraines.
For migraines. I eliminate migraines by correcting the nose. It's inside the nose.
You've helped someone in El Paso last Radio Road. They gave you a call.
They sure did.
In fact, they called while we were on the air.
They sure did. I remember that.
Migraines are no joke, man. No joke.
Yes.
Migraines are no joke. They're debilitating. People depressed, disabled. They have suicide ideations. You know, I was taught in medical school that was in the brain, but when I got on to practice my ear, nose, and throat, I started helping people and noticing that when I did these nasal surgeries, their headaches would go away. Well, I looked at all my data, and it found that about 90% of those people actually had a diagnosis of migraine, and it was off to the races after that. People come from all over the country. I just got back from Dubai because I was on the Steve Harvey radio show about 13 years ago.
Well, now you're on the Steve Foster radio show.
Yeah, now I'm on the Steve Foster radio show. Yeah, so
a little different.
It's going well, though. It's going well. Yeah, curing a lot of people. Changing a lot of lives.
Honestly, how can people catch up with you? We're very happy to make the suggestion and have folks hear you last year, but how can they catch up with you, Doc?
Well, my website is very easy. It's kevinsmithmd.com. My Facebook page has dozens and dozens of video testimonials of people whose lives have been changed by my procedure.
Yes.
And it's Smith Center. Yeah, it's Smith Center. And you look at that, and then the phone number is 713-795-0600. Okay. Somebody out there listening, if you're suffering, you don't know where to turn, you've seen all the doctors, you've tried all the medications, you've done your hysterectomy, you've had your spinal implant, all of it. I've seen all of it.
Right.
Your whole family has migraines. I've cured my families of migraines. So, yeah, just give us a call, 713-795-0600.
Hey, can we talk about his outfit, though? I mean, he's the only cat that looks like. He didn't tell you he was the best dressed doctor in the nation contest.
Hey,
he won it.
well, I tell you,
won it, Kev?
He won. That was years ago.
Yeah, when we met you in Los Angeles, right?
Phoenix.
It was Phoenix. I thought to myself, this guy's put together pretty well.
He put together, man. He's got the white coat on.
That white coat looks like no other white coat I've
like the
seen.
Black Quincy.
Yeah. Well, and he's got the Michigan hat on.
I got it all.
He's got it tapered around the waist, the back.
You got it.
I like it.
And he's handsome.
Well, handsome. You have to be handsome to go to Michigan. Look at Mel. Mel always had these movie star looks too.
Yeah,
that just goes with it.
You're right. So let me ask you this,
yes.
gentlemen, and Kevin, you're down in Houston. How much fun was it to see your school come to NRG and play a whale of a game and win a national championship? Both of you were there. I got to see Mel. Didn't get to see you, Doc. But
wish we could have seen you.
But we were hanging out with Mel.
Yeah.
We were hanging out with
John Wangler.
Oh, Wang.
Yeah. So it was a phenomenal experience because one of my classmates from college is one of y'all's regents in Kathy White.
Really?
Yeah, so we have a connect there as well.
World.
Small. So talk to me.
We know Steve is a Princeton guy.
I know. I visited Princeton because my daughter's boyfriend graduated from there.
Okay.
And I went up there a couple years back. It actually touched my heart. I said, man, I love this place.
Thank you.
I was giddy about being up there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. My mom and my family is from Jersey, and my mom really wanted me to go to school close to my grandparents. It was an ingenious move for a lot of reasons, but my grandparents didn't live much longer after I graduated. They got to come, and I got to go to them throughout my college career,
wow,
and I got to really bond with them as a more mature little guy.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
got to see all my cousins and things of that nature, and uncles and aunts. So it was a great move to be up there.
Well, this is a great place.
Come on, tell me about your national champions.
Go
I mean,
ahead.
you got it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
How
Take
was
it
the
away.
feeling when y'all were in the
and
stadium there?
It's really something because it's so hard to get there.
Right.
And, you could be Alabama and go many times and win. But for the majority of the teams, just to get into the playoffs, at the time, now they have more than 4, but it's so hard to get there and so much work that if you don't take care of your business, you may never, some guys don't even play for Big Ten championships.
Right.
Which we did when we were there. But to get to that level and we win, it's a great feeling. Now, Harbaugh did his job and now he's gone. But for the Michigan fans, beautiful.
It was fantastic. I actually looked up on some tickets in a suite, and I was able to take Butch Woolfolk.
The running back.
Yeah, Rose Bowl MVP. We
Jersey.
play golf together all the time. Yeah, he's from New Jersey.
Is he in Houston?
He's in Houston, yeah. So he and I
We
went.
play golf?
He played for the Oilers.
Well, we got to get
We
together.
do a golf tournament for Make-A-Wish.
Let's get
July
together.
26th.
Let's
come
get
on,
together.
come on towards a little more towards Central Texas.
But Butch turned to me while we were sitting up there watching the game, and he goes, Kev, this is the most fun I've ever had watching a Michigan game. This has just been fantastic. We were up in a suite with Carl Lewis, Cynthia Cooper, Born Moon.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So we had a good time.
Y'all did it right.
Yeah, we had a good time, though. But it was fantastic to get to that point and to go 15-0. When you say you went 15-0 and won a national championship, that's some work.
Especially nowadays.
That's work, Mel.
That is work.
That's some hard work.
Because back in the day, if you could run it, like when we were there, we were killing people. We had 120 scholarships. You got all the talent.
Right.
Now it's spread out.
Exactly.
And you got better coaching, better facilities, better training.
Right.
So it's really level playing field.
It has.
So you got to run the gauntlet. And the Big Ten is no joke.
Right.
And then you got to get to the Alabamas. You got to get to the Big Ten championship. You got Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, Ohio State. And then you got to get to the big boys, and you got to win them all.
It's incredible.
Right.
But it's a great feeling. It's just good that those guys won the national championship. And, when I listen to the interviews of the guys on the team, too, I'm proud about the way they carry themselves, too. That quorum and his answers, and then the quarterback, when you think about it, when he first came in, he was all Michigan from the start.
He was a cheerleader.
He was a cheerleader. And so, and I think everybody rallied around him.
Yeah.
So
it was serious, too.
It's serious. And he believes it, and he loves it, and it just showed through. And I think he elevated the play of all those kids over the years.
Yeah.
Well, we have a connect from where we live, not where we do our show on the weekends, but did Tavier Dunlap, number 22. He's from Del Valle, the Cardinals. It's really right next to the airport in Austin. And so I called his high school games when they played against Austin Bowie.
Yes.
And so he went for 200-plus, and I think Jay Harbaugh was the one who recruited him out of Austin.
Oh, wow.
But he was a very jubilant young man, the student-athlete, and all of, the accoutrements that come with
That's the
winning
guy
a
you told
national
me
championship.
that really put together. See the running back?
Yes.
Number 22. Yeah, really put together?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was great to catch up with him after the game and just see him celebrating on the field. It's hard to do. People don't understand. You just can't reel off national championships and Super Bowl wins just every year. It doesn't work like that normally.
Everybody wants the same thing, and they're all good.
Right.
And everybody wants a piece of you. The target goes on you. I don't think people handle being the hunted as opposed to being the hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And
it takes a special kind of makeup to actually perform in that role.
When you're the hunted, because you don't know where it's all coming from.
No.
That's the thing.
That's right.
When you're going for the target, there's one goal, and that's the target.
Exactly.
But when you are the target, then
a lot of arrows
You got to be prepared. You just got to be prepared.
So we're doing it 14 times, and then one more time. It's hard.
It is.
It's hard. Winning is hard.
It
and
is.
to continue to win week after week
And it's
after
going to get
week.
harder with the new format.
It really is.
Yes, it is.
You got to go through more games to get there.
Right.
Yep.
No, I think that's a better setup though, because again, y'all understand kids. If you had 5 kids and only 4 presents, that's not a good Christmas. If you had the Power 5, as they called it, the Power 5 contract, why would you not make it so you have at least 5 slots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff that goes into that, and that's for another show.
That's another.
Yeah.
A whole nother
You're
show.
right.
It is.
But
and you could do a whole show on that.
Oh
Yeah.
and a whole bunch of shows.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter as we go forward, right? But what doesn't change are the institutions,
Right.
like the Michigans, that are going to be good or great year in and year out.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's a tough part,
Right.
And it's a tough deal.
Right.
You got to do it every single year.
Right.
But that Block M means something.
It
Yeah.
does.
Well, Dr. Kevin Smith, we certainly appreciate you.
Always good to see you.
Congrats on your national championship.
very much.
Tell
Love
our
to
listeners
yes.
one more time how
Yes.
they can get in touch with you.
Again, I'm Dr. Kevin Smith. I cure migraine headaches, and I help you with sleep apnea and breathing. And you can get a hold of me by calling 713-795-0600. Guys, I really appreciate you allowing me a platform
Yes, sir.
to spread my message because
Anytime.
it really helps a lot of people.
I'm
so
glad-
good to
I'm
see
gl-
you too, Mel.
I'm glad I know him.
I'm glad I know you.
We're glad we know him, too.
He's my boy.
And y'all are national champions.
We are.
I love it.
Congratulations.
We are.
Thank you for taking time out here on Radio Row. We hope to see you, even though we may not have you on air. It's always a pleasure to talk with you offline as well.
It is.
And we'll see you in Houston. Yeah.
You got to go play golf.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, we're
Cool.
going to step aside. We're going to come back with our favorite NFL Network analyst and on-air personality when we come back right here on 600 ESPN El Paso.
Hello and happy Thursday or Friday Eve. I'm ABC7's Hillary Florin for 600 ESPN El Paso. I have a look at the headlines on this 8th day of February from our KVIA studios. Starting with our forecast, here's Storm Tracker Jalen Lewis.
Happy Thursday. Our ABC7 First Alert is no longer in place as we will be seeing a much quieter weather pattern after a windy Wednesday in the borderland where a cold front dropped in. Behind this cold front, it will be much cooler with afternoon temps in the 50s and evening temps in the 30s along with breezy conditions. For your Saturday, we will have a slight chance for precipitation, but here comes the warm weather because going into your work week, we will see a warming trend.
Jalen, thank you so much. Now taking a look at the headlines. One person has been taken to the hospital after being hit by a car this morning on Burnham Road in Lee Trevino. According to police, they received the call before 6:30 this morning. One person again taken to the hospital with serious injuries. A few lanes in that area were closed but are open now. One person dead after a single vehicle crash on the east side that happened on Loop 375 South at the I-10 interchange. According to police, the call came in minutes before 10 p.m. Our crews noticed that special traffic investigators were also on the scene, indicating the severity of that accident. And another crash. Horizon Police searching for the person responsible in the death of a teenage boy after being hit by a car and then taking off. It happened on Darrington Road and Pauling Drive near Horizon Boulevard. The teen was taken to the hospital, but a spokesperson for the Horizon Police Department told us that he was killed. When the person driving that vehicle is found, we'll let you know online. After murdering a man with a sword, a Las Cruces man is sentenced to 10 years in prison. Arturo Francis Quintana pled guilty to second-degree murder. Police responded to a fight on East Bout Street. Quintana grabbed a bicycle and fled the scene, and police found Efren Gutierrez dead inside. Quintana will serve his 10-year sentence at the New Mexico Department of Corrections. I'm Hillary Florin. Those are your headlines. Have a great day.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Performance Services uses a seamless design-led design-build process from the first site visit and throughout the guarantee period. Their team consists of 24 licensed architects, 14 project managers, and 7 licensed professional engineers in Texas. Here in El Paso, Performance Services past projects include YISD football stadium upgrades, along with lighting and HVAC upgrades in SISD elementary and middle schools. For your next big project, contact John Reese at Performance Services, 562-965-0373, and online at performanceservices.com. Before we build anything, we build relationships.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
This is Steve Kaplowitz, and 600 ESPN El Paso has a great way for you to enjoy sports talk on demand. Download our show by subscribing to the free 600 ESPN El Paso podcasts on your Apple or Google Play device. After that, you can enjoy the best of sports talk each day, delivered commercial-free to your phone or tablet. That's right, all the best calls, interviews, and insight with the touch of a button, so you never miss a moment. 600 ESPN El Paso podcasts.
What can you say about Pelican Steak and Seafood that you don't already know? Just that they continue to satisfy existing customers with the consistency in their kitchen and draw new customers looking for great seafood and steaks, all grilled to order. The bar is another sensation with the best martinis and specialty drinks in town. Open nightly at 4 p.m. and open for lunch on Sundays at noon. Pelican Steak and Seafood, 130 Shadow Mountain Drive on El Paso's west side. Dinner and drinks at Pelicans for every occasion. Reservations encouraged.
Get in zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone.
So what if I need a new one?
No problem. We have the right battery for your car, starting at only $89.99.
Get in zone. AutoZone.
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At Target, our aisles tell stories of everyday Black joy. The same joy that can be found in our new Black History Month collection. Like feeling empowered with the teas and mugs from legendary Roots. Or seeing the beauty of Black culture through the art of Winnie Weston. Bring more Black joy to your day with an affordable collection that embraces it. Available now at Target.com/Black Beyond Measure. This is Ian Fitzsimmons, and you are listening to 600 ESPN El Paso.
ESPN El Paso. But we are laying down the law. He's Chris Fernandez. I'm Steve Foster. You will hear Cappy and Adrian from 4 to 7 El Paso time, 3 to 6 here in Las Vegas. We're live from Radio Row. We have two distinguished guests. I love it. A full house backfield as Chris played fullback. We have a defensive back in Nick Ferguson. Welcome. Great to have you. And then our favorite man from NFL Network, Omar Ruiz from the mighty San Diego Aztecs. We loved having him in the Final Four in Houston.
Right.
And also, Nick, you finished your career with the Texans as well.
Absolutely, I did.
You know, you said Broncos. I said, can we move a little,
a little closer?
I know in the photo in Wikipedia, but the Texans are closer to our hearts considering that we are both Texans.
Well, considering what you just said, big shout out to the Houston Texans and the season they had with my former teammate and San Francisco 49ers co-worker, D'Amico Ryans.
Yes. Done a heck of a job.
It was
I was there that playoff game against the Browns and how they
came out and lit the world on fire. Those 2 pick sixes in the third
Yes.
quarter.
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud's a stud all season
He is
long.
amazing.
And to get the first win of his career in the postseason, his rookie year, oh, man, what a foundation they've laid there.
Yeah.
Omar looking dapper. Are you going to do some what are you doing today? Because I know that you've said it before on other instances, but these listeners may not know what your situation is this week.
So I had the Good Morning Football assignment all week. So here in Vegas, now typically I do Good Morning Football Super Bowl week, but when it's in Atlanta, Miami, it's 7 a.m., which is not too bad. You go out, maybe you get to bed 1 or 2, you get 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Here in Vegas, that's a 2 a.m. wake-up call.
Ooh, ooh.
For the 4 a.m. show. It's been so funny walking through the casino, going to my car at that hour. The club's not even going off yet. Like, it hasn't even reached prime time at the club, and I'm already getting in my car to go to work.
Oh, no.
So we've been putting in long hours, but NFL Honors is tonight. Going to let loose the next couple nights. My 2 a.m. wake-up calls are over, and then NFL Game Day morning on Sunday morning, our pregame show starts at 6 a.m. local time, 8 o'clock in El Paso. And we'll have 8.5 hours of coverage breaking down this Chiefs 49ers all morning long.
I got a question for Omar. I know at NFL Honors we typically find out the class of Hall of Fame for this year. So can you give us a little peek behind the curtain?
A teaser?
Yeah, a little something.
No, because at this point there are such a small handful of people that actually know.
Yeah.
It's the voters themselves, the Hall of Fame voters. It's the people that were on the production team that went out and filmed the announcement when the Hall of Fame.
Oh, when they knock on the door?
They knock on the door.
Okay.
They made it a TV show now where.
It's Three's Company. It's an old one. Come knock on
So who's playing?
It's a remake.
So who's playing Mr. Roper?
So that's a very small-knit crew, and so they really want the surprise and authenticity of that tonight. So I think we're all going to find out. It's going to be awesome. Always, brings emotions. And I think, somebody, because Nick, I think we're about the same age. The players now that we watch that were your peers in the NFL are now the people that are going into the Hall of Fame. So it's, somebody like a Patrick Willis or Antonio Gates, guys that I actually covered at the beginning of my tenure at NFL Network now are going into the Hall of Fame. It's just a surreal thing to experience that now. Because, I don't feel old, but when I see these guys go to the Hall of Fame.
Wait, Omar, we talked about that.
We just talked about that, Omar.
That's not the word.
That's not the
Nick,
word.
tell him the word,
I'm
Nick.
so worldly now.
Yes, there it is.
Yes, you're a seasoned individual.
Yes. We got to make these adjustments because I think those small nuances that we just mentioned with regards to us being on the planet are going to be the small nuances that may make the difference in this Super Bowl game, Omar.
I think you're right. And I think what this Super Bowl is unique in that the 49ers are so talented, both sides of the ball. Patrick Mahomes, obviously, already in that conversation as perhaps the greatest quarterback of all time from a talent perspective. Not necessarily of accomplishment yet, but when you consider his first 6 years, they didn't talk about Tom Brady like that.
They're
It was
not
all about
bad.
the defense. But anyway, I think we'll see both teams at their best, and it's going to come down to fundamental old school. Can we say old school? That's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
bad.
you're getting there.
Yeah, the old school is good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Physicality, effort, intensity, those kinds of things, because you're not going to fool Patrick Mahomes. He's seen it all by now.
Yeah.
He's a master of his craft at this point. It's going to be who executes, who can hit harder, who can establish their authority in that game, and I think that'll be the difference.
You know what? I think
Yeah, there you go, Nick. Thank you. Jump right in, please.
Kind of goes to the San Francisco 49ers for this particular reason. I know Omar was talking about Patrick Mahomes and how he's seen every single thing. When you think about where they've been offensively and the connection with the receivers not being there, this is where the 49ers can actually exploit it, because you go back to the Baltimore game, the one thing that they didn't do well, they didn't really run a lot of press coverage where they were able to disrupt the timing of the routes.
Right.
So I know the idea is that, well, you can't put a lot of pressure on Patrick Mahomes because he's going to find a guy. Well, you can't play zone coverage either because he's going to find a guy. The thing is to disrupt the timing. So hopefully Coach Wilkes, which doesn't run a lot of pressure coverage, he actually gives a little of that to Patrick Mahomes on Sunday.
And to Nick's point, I spoke with Diamador Lenore earlier this week, one of the 49ers corners, because he's one of those guys that prides himself on being a tone setter and setting that physicality. And I said, you guys aren't doing corner blitzes. How can you establish that physicality on Mahomes? And he said what you said. You got to hit the receivers. You got to hit the running backs. You got to disrupt that timing. Make Mahomes just have a little bit of doubt in there. And that could be something small that you mentioned that could be a huge difference in this game.
So, Nick, and we're talking with Nick Ferguson and Omar Ruiz, I moved the guy around in motion. I got to have Travis in motion. I got to have Rashee Rice, Go Ponies, SMU. I got to put those guys in motion because now you can't jam them at the line of scrimmage. And maybe I run somebody behind the line of scrimmage at the snap and sneak out in the flats too. You have to be creative when you have a defensive-minded effort of we're not going to let you out on your routes.
Well, you have to understand first and foremost why the team is using the motion.
Yes.
They know every single player from the second level to the back end, they have a gap responsibility.
Correct.
So they're just trying to change your progressions and make easy throws. But here's the same thing. I mean, when Tyreek Hill was with the Kansas City Chiefs, it was the same defensive idea.
Right.
If he's running behind the line of scrimmage, he can't threaten you because he's not running vertical. So all we have to do is communicate that across the formation, let it play out, let that throw be thrown to the flat. We just rally and tackle.
Maybe I go backside because I bring somebody else across as you rotate your zone, maybe to that hot receiver like that. It's cat and mouse. And to me, and this is where I guess the more mature heads say, don't give me the analytics because I'm trying to trick you with moves and where I set people up because you've calculated me all this time and you want to say, oh, I know what Foster's going to do because this is his tendency. I'm not playing tendencies when I'm trying to win the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, right.
I'm just trying to win that day, whatever that means.
Well, and with that being said, I mean, to Omar's point, you have to run the ball.
Yes.
And you have to be creative because everyone always says you got to run the ball, but it's how you deploy your running backs that will put the defense at a disadvantage.
So Nick Ferguson.
Yes.
Why all the talk about devaluing the running back if you say yourself you have to run the ball?
Well, I'm not one of those guys who subscribe to that theory.
Thank you.
I think running backs are an immense part of the game.
Thank you.
And you look at both teams, whether it's Isaiah Pacheco or CMC, they're intricate roles, but here's where the rebuttal will come. CMC was drafted earlier than Pacheco. So the idea is that you can get any running back there. And I say even that's not true.
Correct.
Because you need a bell cow guy that's going to make the defense play honest. That's what you need.
And the devaluing situation is really not the importance of the game. It's the monetary devaluing in the second contract where it just becomes a little more nuanced.
Thank you for explaining that.
About that because, you guys mentioned it. Pacheco, CMC are going to be heart and center of this game, but it's, the financials where that gets a little bit tricky.
My banker, my financial analyst, right? Hey, Nick, we wanted to ask you the truth about drugs. We have this information here. I'm very interested because we don't want people misusing and doing things. I'm going to tell you a very sad story. One of my high school teammates, I found out a federal judge sentenced him last week with regards to fentanyl.
Really?
Yeah. That hurt me. You're trying to do things so that these things don't happen. Talk to me what you're doing.
Well, this is an organization that I was introduced to during my time living in Los Angeles, and I was able to get Marshall Faulk on board. With him being a Hall of Famer, obviously, when he speaks, a lot of people would pay attention. And the idea is to inform kids at an early age and speak the language that they understand to let them know that there are some deadly things outside of your family structure that can do damage to you. And now you're speaking of your teammate. There are a lot of former players who are going through pains with their body, and some of those guys even look to drugs as a way of coping. And the idea is letting them know there is information out there for you, and there's ways to offset that. So it's just trying to get this information out there through drugfreeworld.org, and I'm just trying to do my part to help out.
Well, I was looking at the pamphlets that you have in this little box here, and of course you can look at this information on www.drugfreeworld.org. Easy to read, a lot of good information.
Yes.
And I look at what's going on in the world these days with the legalization of, let's say, marijuana, and how does that going to affect the masses when you legalize it? Because eventually it looks like it will be legalized in all states eventually.
Yeah,
or could be.
It could, and in some states it is. I live in Denver, Colorado right now, and it's legal there. So the idea is try to educate kids on, once again, the things that are out there lurking around the corner, because as parents, we try to school our kids to be aware of this and be aware of that. And sometimes our kids fall into a trap because they're trying to be hip and they're trying to be cool.
Right.
And the idea is to prevent kids from dealing with these situations, because before we were dealing with DUIs. Now you can get charged with DUI if you get caught smoking marijuana.
Right.
How can we learn more about what you're talking about?
Yes, go to www.drugfreeworld.org and check it out.
Drugfreeworld.org.
Yes. And the information is absolutely free.
Free. If it's free, get three. That's what
right.
we say.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yes.
Nick, Omar, thank you so much for your time. You can see Omar the rest of the week on NFL Network, one of our favorite guys. And Nick Ferguson, you can also follow him on Instagram. And I know Omar's on Twitter and other social media platforms. Gentlemen, thank you. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back at 1. We've got Neil Smith. Thank you so much. This is 600 ESPN El Paso.
Palo Verde Homes is El Paso's award-winning home builder, and year after year, voters have named them among El Paso's top builders in City Magazine. 100% of the homes they build are Energy Star certified, and they are ranked as one of America's top 200 builders. Palo Verde Homes offers 3, 4, and 5 bedroom floor plans in East, West, and Northeast El Paso, in addition to Socorro, Horizon City, and New Mexico. Call Clearview Realty today at 996-5972 or visit paloverdehome.com. What coming home should feel like.
Rollin' Smoke Barbecue in Anthony, Texas. Your first and last stop for Texas' best barbecue. Smoked beef brisket, baby back ribs, plus their signature pound-and-a-half dino rib. Rollin' Smoke Barbecue, hosting a very special leap year party Thursday, February 29th, 6 to 9 p.m. Featuring live music from the Chilerianos. Learn more about Rollin' Smoke Barbecue and their leap year party on Facebook at Rollin' Smoke BBQ. Rollin' Smoke.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Jay Cutasal General Construction is a diverse contracting company, diverse in both what they build and how they build. Owners and architects trust Jay Cutasal General Construction's skills and dedication when tackling complex projects. They specialize in new construction, tenant improvements, remodels, and build-outs, and over 50 years of combined experience from pre-construction through design and project completion. Jay Cutasal General Construction.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy, she sleeps well, she's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice. Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food. 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
Hey, my name is Justice, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A nugget trays is when it's time for football season and time to have the boys over, Chick-fil-A was it. You bite into it and it's juicy. You know, you got flavors popping. Oh, yeah. On any DAY, I need CFA.
Hey, y'all. My name is Soraya, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nugget trays is how easy it is. That convenience of being able to order through the app is just unmatched. When I place that tray down, those nuggets won't be there for long. Everyone loves them.
Whether it's a simple oil change or repair to a medium heavy-duty size vehicle, Hills Automotive Center can get your vehicle back on the road. They are the automotive diesel, RV, and equipment repair center trusted by the community for over 55 years. Can't make it into the shop? Ask about their roadside service units and towing service. Hills Automotive Center, located at 7735 Alabama. As for Dave Hill and Carlos Reyes, call Hills Automotive Center today, 915-755-1681.
From hometown to national. Sports spoken here. 600 ESPN El Paso is KROT El Paso, a Town Square media station.
1 o'clock hour of laying down the law with the gentleman who's been #1 twice. He's an alum of the University of Nebraska with me. He is on the 90s All-Decade team for the NFL, 6-time Pro Bowler, and one of my favorites, Neil Smith. Neil, good afternoon, and welcome back to Laying Down the Law, my man.
Appreciate it. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. Doing great, man. You understand the Super Bowl. You're a 2-time champion. What do you think about the two matchups here with San Francisco and Kansas City, your former team?
Hey, you know what? It's a bit of excitement. You know, both teams, they went their own way. You know, they're winning by, one winning by offense and the other one winning. You know, the defense has been so strong in Kansas City. But then, the road to the Super Bowl is now that you're here. Now, how can you seek the moment to while you're here? What advice that you can? What advice that we can give each other to be, the last one that's standing? And that's what the tournament is about. So. I'm excited, being here, been there, done that type of thing. But, I know a lot of things going through these players' minds right now.
Right.
Leading up to the game, especially the ones that haven't played it. And then the edge is always going to go to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs because they've been here the last 4 times, out of the 5 years. So it's exciting. Kansas City changed now. I guess we put ourselves on the mark, on the map now.
Oh, yeah.
So I know the hell we are.
What was the biggest difference between your first win and the second win and how you approached the game?
Well, the first win, we was extremely underdogs to the defending champions, Green Bay Packers. And they underestimated us big time. And, because we heard everything, how great Brett Favre was to, that we was pound for pound. They even went pound for pound, how small we was than them.
Right.
And so everything that they say was all bulletin material, put it up on there.
Right.
And basically we'll get out and play the game on Sunday.
Right.
So we was pumped for it. And what we did is we used our quickness. We had the right mindset of gassing them, and they couldn't catch up. And the game is so fast as it is. That game played on Sunday is a super fast game, and it goes quick.
Right.
If I can tell any player, don't wait on nothing to happen. You better make it happen now, and that's how fast the game goes.
So Neil, you talk about underdogs. You were obviously considered the underdog. You look at Kansas City, who is surprisingly the underdog.
Yeah, that doesn't
in
make
this game.
sense to me either.
Does this fuel their fire?
Well, I guess, since we're in, like I said, that bulletin material, but I guess while we're still here in Vegas, then something must be, I understand how they build these buildings now. If you're going to put them on top.
Right?
Oh, you got to look around.
Yeah,
it's not a secret.
Man, I'm like, I can see how they build a strip, man. I'm like, okay, you get one team bulletin material,
right.
and then you don't respect the other one. So, I don't know, man. It's just it's exciting to see that. I just hope it'll be a great game, and I'm going to get an edge to the Kansas City Chiefs because, I know you can win championship with defense, but
yes.
also we have number 15. Brock Purdy haven't been there,
right?
The Chiefs have. So
right.
the next is that McCaffrey is good.
Yes.
They got Debo.
Yes.
So they got they got a great tight end. It's
right.
like, so the defense, if the defense for Kansas City doesn't win this football game, it's because of that great offense they have. But I'm still going to get an edge to the Chiefs.
So how does Neil Smith attack or look to stop today's San Francisco 49ers? What do you do?
You got to take away something first.
Okay.
And I don't know what you're doing, but you're gonna have to change up as you go. You can't remain the same because what I do know about the Shanahan family, because his dad, I won 2 Super Bowls with his daddy, is that he's going to adjust. And you know what? And he might throw adjustment at every quarter to do something different to see what fits. So I think all the marbles is on the table. The same as Andy Reid. Andy Reid is not going to take anything back. He's not going to be one-dimensional. He's going to adjust the whole time. So the team that doesn't turn the football over, and win the turnover ratio if they can, it pretty much is going to win this football game.
Talking with Neil Smith, we also have back our man Mel Owens, first-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Rams. Break down the defensive line for Kansas City versus Bosa and the defensive line of San Francisco. Is it an even Steven?
I think so. I think it's pretty even across the board as far as the pass rushers and Carl Osler and Chris Jones.
Yeah.
So I think they're equal in the middle, but I think Kansas City running attack, where Pacheco's kind of sets everything up, with the Chiefs, and then you got McCaffrey. I mean, man, I'm so excited for this little kid. His daddy played with me, won 2 Super Bowls, man. I'm like, and I seen the way the kid struggled when he first, got in the league with the injuries and stuff, man. But he is a load, and McCaffrey. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a exciting football game. There's no question you're going to see some knockout punches. You're going to see who's the last one standing.
Well, go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say, if you had to pick a weakness in the Kansas City Chiefs roster, where would it be?
Well, we offensively we had a weakness on dropping footballs, and not making plays afterwards. But then on the defensive side, they when a team seems to run on the Chiefs and get that running thing going, then they struggles a little bit. But they're very, very good on the back end because they got 2 young corners that plays pretty good, and they're up and coming. I mean, they just they're up and coming. But Frisco, it's they're gonna throw a lot of misdirection stuff. That's just the Shanahan way. They're gonna do a lot of stuff. I don't see Andy doing a lot of trick plays in this game. So it's just a chess match, guys. Yeah, we can sit here and try to put out.
You don't need trick plays when you got Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, because he can extend the play.
He brings his own bag of tricks.
Right.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that kind of irritates me a little bit. When the Chiefs can get into the red zone and they try to be too cute, because that's why the numbers went down, because they try to be too cute and do different stuff, and you don't need to do that. You just need to line up, get the ball to number 15,
especially in the last big game.
Yeah, and let him play. I don't think they're going to take the football out of his hand. I can guarantee you that.
Right.
If they do got to go down to the line, he's going to make the play, or if he's not going to make it.
Rashee Rice, I think he's kind of an X factor that's now really come along. We had a chance to see him on opening night. If you can have at least one surefire addition to Travis Kelce, now I can balance out a secondary and make them think twice, correct?
I'm going to tell you what, this kid is really, really good. And he's good as I've seen right now coming out, being a young guy that can catch the ball after the catch. He would catch the short passes and he would turn it into a 10-yard run.
Right.
Or if not, he could turn it across mid. Now, I don't know if he have that blazing speed to make guys go down the field miss, but I tell you what, in the funnel, how they've been playing this year, he fits perfect into this offense. I'm sure the Chiefs is going to go out and get a deep threat guy, to get that back again. But
they had one.
Yeah, they had it. They had the best one, but you can't pay everybody. You know how this game is.
I know. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking to 2 gentlemen who are both first-round picks who played double-digit years. That in itself is a mouthful at one table.
Let me say how I would beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
It's actually pretty simple. And and I looked at this for the last 2-3 games, I would press Kelsey. No, they don't press him.
No,
I jam him every.
What if I put him in motion? What if I move him
they
around?
do. I can still jam him. I mean, he's off the ball a little bit, but still nobody touches the guy.
He's the most free release tight end
Neil,
that I've ever seen in my life. And I'm be honest with you.
Am I the only guy?
You brought up a great point. I don't understand why. Because he's so big, and the thing about it, he can
Kellen
make you miss.
Kellen Winslow's walking around here.
Yeah,
and I used to jam him all the time.
But you're Superman, Mel.
That's right.
But you know, the game has changed.
The game has
Kellen
changed.
was a receiver.
Like, if they find out that you're going to if he come in motion and they got a guy that's on one-on-one with him, he's not going to run the route that he runs. He do backyard stuff.
I get
that's
that.
with him and
I get that too.
Right.
Okay, but I don't have to jam him and play man all the time. I can jam him and go into my zone.
You just want to throw him off his route.
I'm not going to let him on free.
Yeah.
He's going down the field free. It's free. Come on.
And if you doubled him, you're going to ruin. You're going to mess up the rhythm.
And Rashee Rice is blowing you up on the backside.
So I'm telling you, take one thing away from him, they'll find out what you're taking away. And Kelsey really have been really not MIA.
But he got 11 catches last time.
But when you don't pay attention to him, he does this to you. He wants you not to pay attention.
I kept on rewinding the TV, going, "Is it free? Free release?
All
free release?
Free releases. All free releases." And they don't do it anymore. They don't jam on the line of scrimmage. Yeah, you got 5 yards to ride this guy.
Right.
You don't have to hold him.
Do you think because of the rules that they think it's going to be a defensive holding or pass interference?
It got disrupted a little bit for the timing, so the defensive lineman to get in to help him out.
Yeah.
The free releases is just killing these teams.
Yeah, but on Kelsey, like I go back to Kelsey and Mahomes, if you do that to them, they're going to break that crap off. You're going to run something you don't.
They just let them go.
They're good at the play
time.
school stuff.
And
I get that.
They are.
That's why he be downfield. He be wide ass open because you think he's going to
but I can't just let him
go out the back door.
It's just amazing to me that they let him free release.
And I get it. I get it.
But if you press and you mess up, then he's now he's raising his hand.
But he's not that fast.
That's what I'm
saying. Still 12-yard catch. Still 12-yard catches.
But I don't have to play man-to-man all the time. I don't have to play man-to-man. I just got to jam them and get back to my zone. It's free release. Just watch the game Sunday.
Hey, Kyle Shanahan, Mel Owens giving you free legal.
That's free one.
I think the Chiefs win. I think the Chiefs win because I think exactly the experience and the understanding of what we're doing and why we're here. And Patrick Mahomes at 28 is looking to run down Tom Brady. I would if I was him.
I think he's going to get 6 or more. He's going to have 6 or more opportunities to get
Hey, Neil, you know how tough it is, man.
It's very tough. And we've been saying this for years. It's been tough, but nobody found a solution for it yet. So, I'm going to tell you what. For the 49ers to pull this off, they're going to have to – Purdy going to have to play out his mind.
Right.
No question.
Right.
You got to have zero.
And he's new to this game.
And he's new.
And he's new, and not just this. It's like, it's a lot of pressure, guys.
Green Bay should have beat him. He had 2 pick sixes that they complimentary dropped on the ground.
But one thing they can't do, they can't spot Kansas City in those points.
No, they can't. No. They are not going to come back from behind.
And I've never seen the Chiefs ever lose a game by coming back because the defense is so strong. So I'm just being honest with you. Somebody jump or leave. It's be interesting to see somebody come back.
Well, I'm going to sports book because you can do that here in Vegas.
You go anywhere you want to. Bet on what you want, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't put your wife or the house on.
You got to have a little side stash, right?
Yeah,
I understand that my cousin and I put together.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's the score of the game?
I think it's going to be a close one. I think it'd be like 31-28, some type of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in favor of the Chiefs.
In favor of the Chiefs.
If I'm wrong, I ain't gonna be the only one.
Hey, don't bet the house or your wife. Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So Neil, it's great to see you on Radio Row. Develop a relationship over time. What are you doing besides commentating about the game and prognosticating? What else is going on with Neil Smith?
Well, I'm now with a group. It's Mind Body Optimization.
Okay.
And it's a mental health. Company that's just getting ready to launch and blast, and we're trying to do all aspects of mental health, like depression and mental health, and we want to go into your family, into your home to say, like, there is help. So you go to mindbody.com.
Yes.
And you can find us and try to, and help yourself and help depression, help, the suicide rate. More men commit suicide than women. Like every 4 men will do it because of, either their hormones are off or they're dealing with some kind of depression. So
wow.
We want to bring that to, the forefront and saying it's okay. We play this tough sports and we are tough guys. We've always been, but when it comes down to helping someone and someone that need help, then that's what we want to put the foot down.
That's good stuff.
I was with Mike Siss, the same guy that started the Low T Center.
Right.
Years ago, when I was one of his first guys that came on with him.
Okay.
And he started this company before he sold it. And we had the same thing in helping men get off the couch.
Right.
And get their low T stuff checked and low testosterone for men. And, hey, man, I'm a firm believer. Say I'm still on it. Feels good. Feels good to be here every year and happen to do this type of stuff. So I'm still here. Ain't going nowhere. So
yes, right.
We're gonna try to save people's lives and try to get it to the hearts of the homes.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Well, we are more than happy to have you. Thank you so much. I know you've been wheeling and dealing, and you're heading out somewhere next and gonna grab some grub and get going. But as Nebraska alums, great to see you. You're multiple Super Bowl champion. Thank you for the insight. And if any way we can help you, I want to talk to you, though, about that mental health, because I got something that's going on in Texas that may be fruitful for everybody.
Texas. It's out of Texas, so you right at home.
Okay,
all right, you
perfect.
Got it,
Neil Smith, thank you so much. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with one of the best receivers in the 80s, 70s, Steve Largent. When we come back, right here on 600 ESPN El Paso.
El Paso, get ready to elevate your game day experience with Marco's Pizza, where flavor meets convenience. With 3 locations in El Paso, planning for the big games just got a whole lot tastier. Introducing the $5.99 Pizza Ole, a winning lineup of flavors featuring pepperoni, buffalo chicken, and sausage, or the mouth-watering chicken bacon ranch. It's a touchdown for your taste buds. And if you're planning a feast for the game, check out Marco's Pizza Game Time Feast. 2 large one-topping pizzas, cheesy bread, and a 2-liter drink, all for just $24.99. That's Marco's Pizza with the win.
When temperatures fall, you can rise above heating costs with the maximum performance and energy-saving efficiency of a Champion furnace. The complete Champion line is equipped to take on the toughest conditions, so no matter what the season brings, you can depend on a Champion to keep you comfortable while saving money. Visit the Find a Dealer tab and schedule your installation at WinSupplyElPaso.com, your local Champion supplier, and learn how you can save up to 50% in energy costs.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you can start speaking confidently about real-life topics in another language.
Nosotras vamos a México en 2 días y ahora hablamos español.
Gracias, Babbel.
Sí, muchas gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Start learning a language today at Babbel.com.
Score big this season at the District Pub and Kitchen. 3 locations open daily. Airway, Piedras, and Mesa by UTEP. Whether you're trying to watch college basketball or NBA, baseball or soccer, even pay-per-view boxing and UFC fights, catch all the matchups at the District Pub and Kitchen. Happy hour specials on drinks from noon till 6 daily. Try kitchen favorites like the green rolled tacos, bone-in wings, customizable burgers, and much more. Every play, every cheer. The District Pub and Kitchen, where the game is always on.
600 ESPN El Paso.
don't have to get away. We are at Super Bowl 58, and we are laying down the law. We are here with our next guest. We are going no huddle, 11-2. We're in our last hour. And my guy Mark Singleton, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. I've been eating them now for years. It's great to see you.
Hey, Steve, it's been 15 years. If you can
Has
believe
it?
It's been
Come on, man.
years.
We look pretty darn good for 15 years.
Absolutely.
And keep rolling, huh?
It's a good thing this is radio.
Yes.
I mean, we look great on radio, don't we?
Always. You can never look bad on radio.
Hey, and what a bunch of fun this week is.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
we get a better Vegas, a better Super Bowl location than Las Vegas?
Did you ever think that Vegas would host the Super Bowl?
I never thought they'd give them a team. But,
Right.
But once they said they'd build a new stadium, you know,
Right.
it kind of goes this way.
You're
you build a
absolutely.
new stadium, you get a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the reason we froze
Anybody
our
who spends $2 billion, you get a Super Bowl.
Well, and remember, that's the reason we froze to death in Minnesota.
Yeah, we
because
did.
they built a new stadium.
Yeah.
My jeans have never felt that cold before.
It was crazy. If it wasn't for Paisley Park meeting Sheila E., Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and some others and us hanging out, I love the Mall of Americas. I got to ride the roller coaster. I'm a big roller coaster guy. Want to go to New York. My dad and I first rode that. It was his birthday yesterday. Rest in peace. But, this is a great city to host because it's set up well just like San Antonio.
Oh, and there's actually, here in the Mandalay Bay, it's only about 80% sold out. Now, you've been to Super Bowls with us.
Yes.
When we had to stay in, like, Lafayette, Louisiana.
Drive in.
And drive in because we couldn't find a room
Exactly.
in New Orleans.
Exactly.
That's what makes this place so amazing.
So look, we're gonna start early, so we don't have to drive in from Lafayette for next year because it's back to New Orleans.
It is. We already have our reservations.
Well, I got some folks on the ground, so we'll be all right. Yeah.
Oh man, the food. It's going to be tremendous.
So people probably have heard about Flash 80, but we also had a guy, I say King 80, because the Kingdome was built when Jim Zorn and Steve Largent were passing and catching, and we're so happy to have the Hall of Famer here from the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes.
That's funny you even know that.
You're a Hall of Famer. I'm a huge football guy.
Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Well, you and Drew Pearson are now two wide receivers from Tulsa, the University of Tulsa, who is in the bus room.
Yeah.
What number are you?
194, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See? They always know their number, Mark. we're happy to have you. Thank you kindly. When you look at today's NFL and you see the receivers like Debo, and you see Rashee Rice, you see tight ends, and
DK Metcalf.
That's
he's a beast.
He's a beast.
But you were such a great route runner.
Uh-huh.
You would get people in the secondary off their marks, have their hips turned, and I know you always talked about how you would turn your hips and still run straight. See, I read this 25 years ago because I wanted to be a great pass catcher as a running back as well.
Uh-huh.
And you had a way to do that, kind of like Fred Biletnikoff.
Yeah.
In that mode of, this guy, he doesn't run a 4.3. He's not Tyreek Hill. Why is he always open? Because you know where you're going and you get there in a special way.
Yeah, well, the key was for me is approaching the defensive back and giving him a juke so that he just has to turn around. So he's got to make one full circle, and by the time he's made one full
Steve
circle,
Largent has made a catch.
I'm 3 or 4 yards inside of him making the catch.
Yeah.
And so it was just trying to get guys not to stay on me, but just be off of me, and then try to guess where I'm trying to go. And I would always get them to guess the wrong way. That was the goal.
So, Oklahoma guy, did you have aspirations of going to the University of or Oklahoma State, even though?
Well, Oklahoma was running the wishbone, and OSU
they're not throwing.
was going through the wishbone. And they had Tinker Owens at OU.
Yes.
And so they already had some good receivers there. Oklahoma State I was recruited by, but they were kind of in between throwing the ball and running the wishbone. They ended up running the wishbone, so that was a no-go for me.
Right.
So the University of Tulsa was the one my grandfather was really trying to push me towards, because he had really followed. He was a follower of TU football and everything else, baseball and everything else, but really followed football. And he said, Steve, I really think this would be a good school for you.
Right.
You're a receiver. You want to catch the ball. You can do it at the University of Tulsa. And so I listened to it. And then, was recruited by Tulsa and signed with them. And then my freshman year, they signed Jerry Rome. And Jerry came in as our offensive coordinator and quarterback receiver coach. And he had played 10, 11 years in the NFL. And he really knew that game. And so he really implemented a real strong passing game that I took to and ran for 3 years until I graduated. And then I was drafted by the Oilers, and they cut me after 6 weeks. Said, we're going to let you go now and give you a chance with somebody else. And Jerry Rome had left Tulsa the same year I was in the draft, and he went to Seattle Seahawks. So he tried to draft me. He tried to draft me, and the Seahawks wouldn't draft me. But when he saw my name on the waiver wire, he said, let's get him. And so the Oilers said, we'll trade you for an 8th-round draft choice. I was a 4th-round draft choice. And so the Seahawks traded him an 8th-round draft choice. And I was up there, and their whole team was new because it was the first year of the franchise.
Yeah.
So it was really kind of an unusual year to be on the team. But it was a team that I really acclimated very quickly to. And Jim Zorn was the quarterback.
Yes, he is.
And my good friend Jerry Rome was our quarterback and receiver coach. So he had implemented our entire passing game from the University of Tulsa.
Oh, so you walked in
I knew every play. I knew exactly where to line
awesome.
up, and like that. And
right.
I was in Houston trying to struggling with what I was supposed to do.
We're sorry Texas wasn't as good as it was for you as it is for us, but it's okay. He found his way to Canton.
Yeah, that's right.
They could have used him down there. On those
They
really could have used him.
They missed.
Wasn't Jerry also a quarterback at Tulsa?
He was a quarterback at Tulsa, then went to Dallas.
Yeah. Drafted by Dallas and played for Dallas.
I think he was
early
the runner-up to the Heisman Trophy winner.
I mean, the guy was
64.
the man. Yeah.
He produced a Hall of Fame wide receiver. I always ask this, and we're big on this, for parents that are listening. Did you play more than one sport?
I played baseball.
Okay.
That was my other sport.
Thank you.
And I love baseball. I love to play baseball. My senior year in high school, we won the state championship, had a great coach, great team. Bob Shirley pitched for us. He played 10 years in with various teams in the major leagues. But I love playing baseball. I was a catcher.
Wow.
So I was
would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Kind of like Craig Biggio.
Yeah.
Not a big guy, but could throw you out at second if you got off base too much.
Pudge.
Yeah, and Pudge as well. One of the all-time greats. So, gentlemen, why are you here? What's going on? Talk to us about your involvement. Mark, it's always man. And then you brought a Hall of Famer this time? Hey, thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. And we're here raising money, like we are every year, raising money and awareness for Coach Mike Dick and the Gridiron Greats Foundation. This is our 15th year at the Super Bowl. And if people go to our website, they can win $5,000 in 15 months supply of pork rinds due to the fact that
they're great. The pork rinds, I haven't won any money, but I can tell you the pork rinds I've eaten consistently.
You know, since 1955, we've been making the best tasting pork rind in America, and we still do today. We're still family owned and operated.
Come up just so we can hear you a little bit better.
We're still family owned and operated. We've got a plant right there in Dallas, Texas that services our great friends in El Paso. And we're just so happy to be here raising money for this great cause, because as Steve can tell you, when he first came into the league, it wasn't, Brock Purdy is getting minimum wage as a 7th-round draft choice at $900,000.
Yes, it is. You're right.
Yeah. That's a heck of a minimum wage.
That was about yours, right?
Do that.
Yeah. For the first 10 years I played, I made it.
Wow.
So think about it. And when they retired,
yes,
there wasn't lately the CBA has provided some underpinning for you guys. But when I got involved with this, Coach Dicka was oftentimes the only way a player got their knees fixed, paid their medical bills, got an emergency appendectomy. So it's been a great relationship for us. And as you know, we've been coming to all these years.
Yes.
To get to be in this room and see the heroes of the game and hear their stories is just so much fun.
Yeah, that's the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund that Mike started as a nonprofit, and he's run it very well and funneled a lot of money to players who really need help.
Well, listen, there's the information needs to have some dissemination. We need to get this information out because that's the only way. We always appreciate you when you're running around in New Jersey with your name on the back, but there's more to life than just those 4 quarters.
Exactly.
And you just don't discard your heroes when they're not on the gridiron.
Right.
And so we appreciate the efforts for all the players that make Sundays and now Thursdays and Mondays and Saturdays what it is.
Yeah.
Because you're human, and there's a lot to you besides the pads and the jersey, and we appreciate the effort. We appreciate sharing. How can people go to learn more about this?
GridironGreats.org.
Okay.
You can still get tickets for the party tonight at the M Hotel in Vegas. Be some of the biggest stars in football. And you can go to GridironGreats.org, buy some cool signed stuff, and just give money to help these guys.
Yeah.
We could probably help in some capacity.
Absolutely.
We like to. I like to save a little bit here and there. And now with the 5-year-old, he loves football. So any way I can show him how to give back and get him a couple cool things for the wall, that may be perfect.
Absolutely.
I also want to say I did serve in Longworth and Cannon, Congressman, as well. Yes, I did.
Very good.
So I know a lot about this, gentleman. But we appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
I know you have other
so
places to be, but thank you, Mark, Steve Largent, Hall of Fame. Can't say much more than that. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Thank you, gentlemen. We are laying down the law. And now we're on Radio Row on 600 ESPN El Paso.
Hello and happy Thursday or Friday Eve. I'm ABC7's Hillary Florin for 600 ESPN El Paso. I have a look at the headlines on this 8th day of February from our KVIA studios. Starting with our forecast, here's Storm Tracker Jalen Lewis.
Happy Thursday. Our ABC7 First Alert is no longer in place as we will be seeing a much quieter weather pattern after a windy Wednesday in the borderland where a cold front dropped in. Behind this cold front, it will be much cooler with afternoon temps in the 50s and evening temps in the 30s along with breezy conditions. For your Saturday, we will have a slight chance for precipitation, but here comes the warm weather because going into your work week, we will see a warming trend.
Jalen, thank you so much. Now taking a look at the headlines. One person has been taken to the hospital after being hit by a car this morning on Burnham Road in Lee Trevino. According to police, they received the call before 6:30 this morning. One person again taken to the hospital with serious injuries. A few lanes in that area were closed but are open now. One person dead after a single vehicle crash on the east side that happened on Loop 375 South at the I-10 interchange. According to police, the call came in minutes before 10 p.m. Our crews noticed that special traffic investigators were also on the scene, indicating the severity of that accident. And another crash. Horizon Police searching for the person responsible in the death of a teenage boy after being hit by a car and then taking off. It happened on Darrington Road and Pauling Drive near Horizon Boulevard. The teen was taken to the hospital, but a spokesperson for the Horizon Police Department told us that he was killed. When the person driving that vehicle is found, we'll let you know online. After murdering a man with a sword, a Las Cruces man is sentenced to 10 years in prison. Arturo Francis Quintana pled guilty to second-degree murder. Police responded to a fight on East Bout Street. Quintana grabbed a bicycle and fled the scene, and police found Efren Gutierrez dead inside. Quintana will serve his 10-year sentence at the New Mexico Department of Corrections. I'm Hillary Florin. Those are your headlines. Have a great day.
Love to eat out? Love to save money? Discover Seize the Deal and enjoy $50 dining experiences for just $25. Seize the deal. While they last, experience legendary favorites like Avila's Mexican Food, The Magic Bistro, GNR's, and Eloise. Plus new favorites like the Grape Italian Ristorante and St. Augustine Artisan Pizza. $50 dining experiences for only $25. Learn more on our station's website and mobile app. And remember, a new dining deal starts this Friday, 10 a.m. from the original Hooters at Cielo Vista. Hooters first opened their doors in El Paso in 1997, and the OG at Cielo Vista is home to the world-famous Hooters Girls. From their original wings to buffalo shrimp, BYO burgers, and snow crab legs, Hooters has something special for everyone. Big game bundles are available for the Chiefs and 49ers, and Hooters will be hosting a big watch party for UFC 298. Come by Valentine's Day and spin the bottle to win some terrific deals on food and merch. Hooters, 1170 Sunmount Drive by Cielo Vista Mall.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
This is Steve Kaplowitz, and 600 ESPN El Paso has a great way for you to enjoy sports talk on demand. Download our show by subscribing to the free 600 ESPN El Paso podcasts on your Apple or Google Play device. After that, you can enjoy the best of sports talk each day, delivered commercial-free to your phone or tablet. That's right, all the best calls, interviews, and insight with the touch of a button, so you never miss a moment. 600 ESPN El Paso podcasts.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy. She sleeps well. She's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice, Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food, 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey, this is Ian Fitzsimmons. Join me and Freddie Coleman following Sports Talk for Freddie and Fitzsimmons on El Paso's home for UTEP Sports, 600 ESPN El Paso.
Rock and roll! We are on Radio Row in Lost Wages, Nevada. See, I got the Nevada right?
Got it right.
Okay, we're laying down the law. We're here at 600 a.m. ESPN El Paso. Chris, we have some folks that were very kind to get the 4 of us here, because we're going to have Cappy and Adrian on later. Who might that be?
Yeah, I want to thank some of our sponsors for bringing us down here today. Roland Smoke Barbecue, your first and last barbecue stop in Texas. Say hi to Jesus and his team at Roland Smoke Barbecue, 200 South Main, off Anthony Exit 0. Also want to thank our folks at Chick-fil-A Airway. Spicy stacks up nicely with a spicy deluxe sandwich. Also introducing the Mango Passion. Pick your paradise at Chick-fil-A on Airways. Also want to give a big shout-out real quick to the folks at Soto Gym in Fort Bliss. Guys, thanks for listening. Appreciate you guys listening out there. Thank you so much.
And we need to go visit them when we go home.
Definitely appreciate your service.
All right. Hey, next up, a man who knows Las Vegas extremely well. Been there since 1972 from the Associated Press. Willie Ramirez. Willie, man, it was great to meet you through our guy Q Myers, who Raider Nation Radio, ESPN Las Vegas. He given us some local flair and flavor, and that's you.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us, man. You've been here. You've seen it when there was nobody here.
When there's nobody here.
And now, would you ever imagine that Super Bowl 58 would be,
Depends on when you ask me that.
Okay.
You could ask me that, when I got here, or when I was when I got here, I was 3, so don't ask me then.
Okay.
But it wasn't too long after that, as an avid football fan, watching Brent Musburger on CBS. And
Irv Cross, Phyllis George,
Jane Kennedy. Now,
Jane Kennedy. I had the poster. Had the poster.
And on Channel 3, NBC, you have Brian Gumbel and the boys.
Yes.
So I was a huge football fan. Huge.
You still are.
Yes, absolutely. But, that was my first love. I used to watch Monday Night Football with my grandfather. He'd pick me up. He'd leave work. At the time, it was a construction site, and then it was the largest discotheque restaurant. Before, there were nightclubs and whatnot, but classiest joint in town, Jubilation on Harmon.
Okay.
75 East Harmon Road was back. That was the address. I remember. It was just sat there, this big brick building back in the 70s. But he'd pick me up on Monday nights. He'd call me and say, I'm on my way to pick you up. Hey, who do you like tonight, by the way? And I tell him who I like.
Okay.
And he would stop at this place between the Aladdin and the old MGM called Little Caesars.
Okay.
And he had this big sliding glass door at the back parking lot, and he'd go make a bet. And then he'd pick me up, he'd take me back to his house, pick me up, and then we'd have dinner, we'd watch Monday Night Football. And if I was right, he'd throw me my cut. If I was wrong, he'd say he forgot to make the bet. So,
very kind.
So we had a good time back in the day, and I used to always think, why can't we have an NFL team? Why can't my Dallas Cowboys come here? Why can't I cheered for the Runner Rebels, but I didn't. I aligned myself with the teams, some of the more trendier, popular teams. I had the Cowboys, the Dodgers, and the Lakers. Those are my 3 teams.
Okay.
So to ask me back then, no, I would have never thought. I wanted it,
right.
Sure. And as the town started growing, you started to feel this vibe that something special was going to take place, right?
Okay.
Thomas and Mack was built. The Lakers came here one time to play the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz played like 13 home games here.
Really?
In '84, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar broke the scoring record in Las Vegas. When he set the scoring record for the NBA all-time scoring record, of course LeBron now holds it. He set it here at the Thomas and Mack.
Did not know that.
So history lesson for you.
Yes.
So you started to get that vibe. Then Oscar Goodman became the mayor of Las Vegas, and he swore up and down this was going to be a pro sports town. And he befriended David Stern, and he started selling the thought of pro sports, and they brought the NBA All-Star game here.
Yes.
And Shaq came out with the Jabberwockies.
yes, we did. The Jabberwockies were here yesterday.
At the media party, right?
Yeah,
so,
with the white faces, the mask, yes.
You kind of, it just started growing. The vibe started growing, like something big's going to happen. And, I've told this story. I've written a column about mental health. I hit a low point, and a close friend of mine in the media industry, he told me, he said, Willie, don't leave. Because I told him I was thinking about, I was like, I don't know if I got anything left here. And little did he know when he said, don't leave, I was contemplating checking out. I was checking out for good, or I was checking out of town.
Wow.
And it was a rough go. As a freelancer, you struggle for work. He said, I guarantee you pro sports is coming, Willie. Just bide your time. You're going to be fine. There's going to be work for you. And then we had the Golden Knights. And then we got the Aces. Then we got the Raiders. Now we got 3 world championships, 2 with the Aces, 1 with the Golden Knights. We got the Raiders here. We got a lot of vibe.
A's coming?
The A's are coming. And we have the Super Bowl. We have now, and I've done some talk about Old Vegas here. Let me tell you something. This is special to have the Super Bowl here. But when the Final Four gets here, to me, that's the exclamation point. You know why? Because of the war between Jerry Tarkanian and the NC2A. That's going to be the defining moment for
Grandmama.
The Super Bowl, yes, LJ. The Super Bowl is big. It's big because the NFL distanced itself for so long. Brian McCarthy once saying there'll never be an NFL game because someone asked about an exhibition game playing here. There'll never be an NFL game played in Las Vegas. The NFL refusing to let Las Vegas advertise, for the LVCVA, Convention Visitors Authority, advertise the city during the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Now, here we are.
We love you. We love you,
Yes.
Vegas. Vegas is this place.
Well, I'll tell you, last year, Radio Row in Phoenix, we had an opportunity to talk to the individuals who set this up.
Oh,
or
the
setting
host
it up,
committee, yeah.
The host
Yes.
committee.
Yeah.
And we were excited.
Right.
And I know the nation was excited when it happened. Obvious by the turnout, the city is hopping.
Yeah. It's I've told this to people. This is big for everybody that's coming here. This is big for you guys and other media members and the athletes and the PR reps and the New Orleans host committee. They're going around doing interviews.
Right.
You know who this is not necessarily? I mean, I say this with respect.
Okay.
You know who this is second nature for? The Las Vegas Convention Visitors Authority.
Because they do so many.
The conventions that come here.
Yeah.
The different events now that have been here. When the Stanley Cup came, when the WNBA All-Star, the WNBA Finals. The events that we've become accustomed to throw. This isn't like this is big time, but it's just a new challenge to put something on it.
Because you've been so consistent with major sporting events.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been here twice. Once for the NFL draft, this time for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Both times have been outstanding. I mean, the city hosts very, very well.
Yeah, it's what Las Vegas does,
right?
And it's what it's always done. It's always been a town of destination, right? For back in the 70s and 80s, the gamblers, the wise guys, so on and so forth. Right? You come here, you see a show, and back then, that's when you had dinner shows, two shows a night. There wasn't no just two shows and then the headliner leaves town. They were here for 2 weeks. And there were 2 shows a night.
Right.
They had one dark, they called it dark night. So it was like Monday's dark. The rest of it, 2 shows a night. The headliners, the big boys, right? And you'd get dressed up.
Yes.
For the dinner show, it meant something. And as the town grew, more and more events, more and more things, entertainment, it came. And again, it's just what Vegas does. It's become accustomed to hosting big time things. Just had F1 here, right? That disrupted a lot of the locals. They didn't like the traffic snafus and whatnot. But yeah, this is nothing to us. This is nothing to us. This is just a different challenge. Just like the local media guys, right? You guys that travel around every year to do Radio Row, it's one thing. But like for us, it's just a new challenge. How are we going to cover this one? Let's get it done.
So you've worked a lot with our guy Q Myers.
Yeah.
How did y'all get connected? I know you can say professionally, but was there some type of connect that way?
Well, to be honest with you, I was doing some guest spots like I'm doing here on local ESPN Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I did a couple of things during the inaugural Golden Knight season during the playoffs on that sister station, and then the afternoon drive. They actually just got voted on Barrett Sports Media. I think they were in the mid-range market, whatever it's called. They were voted top 20, Q Show and Cofield and Company.
Oh, wow.
So Cofield said to me, he said, Willie, enough is enough. You need to come on and be part of the company. You need to start getting paid. You come on with so much. You're a guest host sometimes, So they brought me aboard, and then Q became the program director.
Yes.
And he started giving me a lot of gigs, and started doing a lot of things. And I'll be real honest with you guys. I talked about my mental health issues earlier in 2015. Last June, when right after the Golden Knights won.
Yeah.
For some reason, a lot of my mental demons, I call it cerebral health, because what you can't control is when they hit right in the back in your brain. Your mental health is the strength.
Right.
It's like you have weaknesses, but you go in the gym and use your physical strength. So you use your mental strength to battle the cerebral health. And I hit low again for the first time in many years. And I left town. I packed up my SUV, packed up my dog, went for a drive cross country, went and stayed at the lake house and created my own mental health retreat. And when I got back, I started eliminating a lot of the stressful points during my day, things that were taking time away from sort of taking care of myself. And one of those was radio.
Okay.
So it had, I just needed to sort of just decompress a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
And but Q was supportive of it, and we we later reconnected and talked during a Raider game.
Yeah.
And since then, leading up to Super Bowl, he's had me on. I've been on a couple of the other shows over at Lotus Broadcasting. So
awesome.
But Q's awesome. He's been a great addition to Las Vegas as a whole.
Yes, he has.
He's helped expose a lot of the local writers and other media members. So Q's been a valuable asset to this community.
Well, we certainly appreciate him. We got to know him in Texas before he came out this way.
Right.
And the serendipity for him is being a kid from the Bay, like myself, a Raiders fan.
Yeah.
They moved the Raiders right to him.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Because he grinds, and he does such a good job. He started the whole week off on Tuesday morning with us.
Yeah.
And he was the welcome committee, and not a finer guy and appreciate the kind words as well from you to start our venture in Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58.
Yeah, no, it's been great. As I've been telling everybody, you can ask me anything you want from way back when. The only thing I will not divulge is where the bodies are buried.
Okay, that's a good move.
Yeah.
As a guy who's been practicing law as well for a while. No need to tell. No need to tell.
You all know who this is right here from Texas, right? This big Brevin Jordan from the Houston, Texas. That's a Las Vegas boy right there.
Okay, yeah.
Big Brev, a Gorman graduate. Four-time national champion with the Gorman Gales, and always love to see Brevin. Covered him in high school.
Yes.
And now he's with the Texans, so that's awesome to see him roaming around. Ready
Ashley Gale Gorman played at the University of Texas basketball, and she went to Gorman.
Ashley who?
I think it's Gale.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking of, her name's escaping me right now, but the young lady who's a freshman at USC, her last name's Gales, and why I can't think of her name, but her, she graduated, or she was just about to graduate from Spring Valley High School in Las Vegas, and her body was riddled with bullets in a drive-by shooting, and they never thought she was, first of all, she survived, then she walked again, and now as a freshman, she's playing for USC under Lindsey Gottlieb. Yeah, she's I can't think of her name. Aaliyah Gales.
Okay.
Aaliyah Gales.
Okay. Very good.
But yeah, so anyway, yes, where we're sitting right now, guys, I remember when this was desert. I could tell you tales of.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I literally used to drive this area right where Mandalay Bay, this part of the strip, as a senior in high school.
Yeah.
This was where the Hacienda was, and Red Fox and Slappy White, they had their
Red
show
Fox.
here. And across the street, just down the way, was a plaza with a place called Mr. Deli. And you go there on Friday nights after the high school football game, Saturdays before the party, and you pick up the beer or the Bartles and James for the girls, the wine girls.
Bartles and James. I did like some of the Bartles and James.
They would not card you. That's where the high schoolers were.
I think every city has a place like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. I was listening to you earlier this afternoon, and you were talking about a bunch of the old things that you were aware of, that you knew here in Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear the changes that you've seen.
Yeah. I mean, since 1972.
Right.
My gosh.
Right. So you guys have been here. You know, between Flamingo and Tropicana along the Interstate 15, now you look at it, you got the Bellagio, you got City Center is what we call where Aria, Cosmopolitan, all those.
Okay.
Then you got Park MGM, and then you got T-Mobile Arena in New York. Back in the day, the stretch on the Interstate 15 between Flamingo and Tropicana was a golf course, the Dunes Golf Course. And the Dunes was right there on that corner. Caesar's Palace was on the other corner. There was nothing really else. There was a couple of little things, the Jockey Club, right? There's some other spots, but you could see all the way up and down. Now it's just, they jigsaw puzzled everything in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I remember, like I said, I remember when Flamingo, when you were driving west, and you'd pass Caesars and Dunes and you'd hit Interstate 15, you had to get on the freeway. You couldn't go west. I remember when you had to make a choice to get on the freeway. So, there's I mean, I could go on and on.
Well, listen, you've given us history. You've given us an opportunity to know about what's going on. So, just to be able to get perspective,
right,
is huge.
Very.
Yeah.
This is. I'm going to just tell you something. As I said, a testament to the bricks that were laid, the foundation. This goes back to the days of Jerry Tarkanian and the UNLV Running Rebels. It goes back to a lot of the guys that first brought AAU basketball here.
Right.
Because the first love affair was with basketball for the most part. You know what I mean? And then it evolved with UNLV football and Randall Cunningham. And then all of a sudden, just as I mentioned, all these little things were coming.
Frank Hawkins, my guy with the Raiders, baby,
Frank
number
Hawkins.
27. Come on.
That's a Western Warrior, one of the original high schools.
Hey.
Went to Western. That's my guy.
Hey.
We text all the time.
Hawkins, man, he was with Marcus, man.
Yeah.
So
went to Western, then he went to UNR, and then with the Raiders.
Yeah. So I know a little history behind that. Let's get the show sponsor. Willie Ramirez. Look, can't thank you enough for the insight. AP here in Las Vegas. Do you have a column that we can that comes weekly, or how do you do it?
I'm a stringer for the Associated Press.
Okay.
So I'm generally at the bigger events, or and then my colleague Mark Anderson is the main guy. But you can follow me on Twitter for everything that I do, freelance, anything that I put out. I also do some occasional stuff for the Sporting Tribune here and there.
Okay.
Podcast, whatever. So
do you have social?
Twitter.
Okay, there we go.
Willie G. Ramirez, WILLIEG Ramirez.
Okay.
You can follow me there.
I got you.
On X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Willie, we definitely appreciate the time.
Yeah, man, Willie, thank you so much, sir.
You got it.
All right. Let's get to those sponsors.
All right,
Chris,
one last time. We want to go ahead and thank our presenting sponsors, Palo Verde Homes. We want to thank our interview sponsors, Hills Automotive, and then all our supporting sponsors. Really appreciate you all. Pelican Steak and Seafood, 915 Tours, a division of Classic Elegance Coaches, Jay Catazal, General Construction. I also want to thank the Oscar Arieta Agency, Roland Smoke Barbecue, Performance Services, Wind Supply El Paso, and Chick-fil-A Airways. Thanks to all our sponsors. Guys, it's been great. We're going to finish up the show. But don't forget, Cappy and Adrian coming on this afternoon. Looking forward to that and more on Radio Row here in Las Vegas for Super Bowl 58.
I believe Cappy and Adrian will be up.
A full show.
After an hour break.
Right.
They'll be back. Can't wait for their show. They were crushing it. They have been crushing it. We kind of like get on second and third and let them hit us in.
That's it. And they do it with a home run every time.
Yeah, so we can just trot. So we appreciate that. Listen, we got one more day from Radio Row. That's crazy to say that. But Super Bowl 58 looms here in Las Vegas. So we're going to step aside. Cappy and Adrian in an hour and some change. He's Chris. I'm Steve. Slaying down the law. Thanks for all the listeners back home for us listening.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed it. Had a great time here. Hope y'all had a great time listening to us there. Chris, before we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to thank all our listeners, all the interviewers the interviewees that we had. Looking forward to tomorrow, Steve.
Absolutely. And if something's good, more's better. We're getting bombarded a little bit, but look, hey, if they weren't giving you a hard time, you weren't making a splash to be noticed. So we thank everyone, all the sponsors. We will be back tomorrow for one more final show from Radio Row. But Cappy and Adrian coming up in just over an hour right here on 600 AM ESPN El Paso.